Good Nasty on a Wednesday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Appreciate everybody joining us today. 2:03. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Jamie.
Yes.
With the Blues ready to take on the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. Pregame, don't forget, starting right here on 101 ESPN at 6 o'clock. Have we seen a full buy-in from your St. Louis Blues in this recent stretch?
Well, I feel like you have. I feel like you've seen, actually, I feel like you've seen the buy-in from game one. I mean, just because the offense didn't kick in right away, just because the power play wasn't working, it doesn't mean there wasn't buy-in. Mm-hmm. And you have to remember, let's go back to the offseason and talking about, well, one, you hired a new coach, and you changed your defensive structure in the defensive zone. You changed a few other things, too. And I feel like from day one, if nothing else, this team has bought into this defensive mindset and blocking shots and sacrificing of themselves and doing all this stuff. So now you're seeing kind of the fruits of your labor because the Blues have won 4 out of their last 5, and their recent victory was just a walloping of the Colorado Avalanche, which was kind of the icing on top of the cake there. But Craig Berube talking about buy-in from his players and people, guys kind of sacrificing of themselves. Here's what he had to say about it post-practice today.
When your teammates are playing for each other and they're doing the little things out there, sacrificing, blocking shots, playing defense, all those types of things, you're building a team. You can be all close and all that stuff off the ice, with your teammates, but if you're not doing those things on the ice, you're not playing like a team on the ice, and we've been playing like a team on the ice with all those types of things.
He's right. So you can have, great chemistry of the guys hang out together and they do this and they do that. If the attitude on the ice doesn't match the attitude off the ice, then there's a disconnect still. Mm-hmm. We can be best friends off the ice and we can do it, but if day after day after day, you're not pulling your weight as a teammate, that relationship's going to get strained, and it's going to carry over because when you're losing and things are going poorly and you have teammates or people that aren't doing their job or not committed to what they're doing, that just creates a negative tension. You're not seeing that right now because guys are pulling their weight. They're doing what they have to do. They're blocking shots. They're doing all these things. I'll just use Torrey Krug as an example. Wasn't getting any points to start the season. Power play was rough, to say the least. But he was playing 20 minutes a game in a more defensive role. He was blocking shots, playing well on the penalty kill, doing things that were out of character. And what do I always tell you? Find the guy who does something that's out of character when things are going poorly in a positive way. He's willing to do something different to help the team.
Yeah.
And I think you've seen that on a couple of different occasions from multiple players so far this season. So I just feel like watching them from day one to where they are right now, I feel like this team has bought into everything that the coaching staff is trying to get across to them.
Yeah.
And I think that it's paying off. Does it mean they're going to run the table? Does it mean they're going to win a cup?
Yeah.
I hope so. Sure would be nice, Anthony. But I don't know, right? One thing that's a big part of this, too, is you have an identity line. Mm-hmm. You didn't have that for the last couple of years. You thought you did, and you didn't. And then you circulated players in and out of there. You had the Dakota Joshuas, and you tried the Noel Acciari. Noel Acciari played very well for this team, but, you didn't have other guys with them. Now you've got Sonny, you've got Blay, you've got Neighbors. That's pretty much your standard fourth line, and they're doing damage out there. They're doing damage physically, they're doing damage by blocking shots, and they're putting some pucks in the net, especially Oscar Sundqvist. So Craig Berube also talked about the fourth line today, or the identity line, after morning skate.
Sonny and Blazer and Neighbors have been a real good identity line, in my opinion, and also they've, scored some goals for us, and obviously Sonny on the penalty kill's done a good job. But that line's been a real good identity line, a forecheck line, a heavy line, and they're playing to that identity.
Yeah, it's what you need. And the best part about this fourth line is you can put them out there against any line. Mm-hmm. Like they end up on the ice in Colorado against the Nathan McKinnon line. You're not worried. You're not sitting there sweating bullets. But you were when it was like, no disrespect to these guys, but you were kind of sweating with Nathan Walker and Dakota Joshua and Mackenzie McEachern. And like when you couldn't figure out, like, At that point, you're like, just ice it. Somebody, please, help.
Just
clear it. There you go. There you go. You got what you wanted. You got your day off.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm just glad you knew where I was going with that.
I knew.
Yeah.
I actually tried to not say it on purpose.
Yeah, but you saw the twinkle in my eye, and you said,
needed to pay it off.
I'm going to throw him one.
Yeah. So all of this together, again, this is a slightly above 500 team right now, and there could be ups and downs. And I don't base the success, wins and loss-wise, on whether there's buy-in. Because you may be a less talented team, but you have full buy-in. At least for me, what it does, it gives you a foundation to build off of for this year and next year and maybe years to come.
Well, God forbid we let things settle in a little bit, right? They got a new system. They have new players. They're juggling things up. And we expected, maybe some of us, hit the ground running game one. God forbid we allow the system to or the players within the system, kind of iron out some of the kinks early on.
Anthony, stop making sense. Come on now.
Before we jump, Marsh, to this team, same team as last year.
Stop making sense!
It stinks.
Here we go.
Same group. Told you should have rebuilt. Trade Middleton to Edmonton.
And you may still end up saying this stuff.
Maybe.
Okay?
I don't want to trade Bennington to Edmonton.
It's going to happen, Marsh.
Stop it.
Did you read the reports?
No, Anthony.
I saw multiple tweets. They must be factual.
Oh, yeah, they're for sure. All right. But you still, as a fan, may have this emotional roller coaster all year. But if there's anything else if there's something you can pull away from it, is that this team's actually playing hard for each other. They may not win every game, but there's a difference between losing games because you don't have the buy-in, and we saw some of that last year.
Yeah.
And it didn't look good, and nobody liked it. And now, if you lose a game this year, but there's buy-in, for me, yeah, losing sucks. It's still a loss. But you can feel a little better that the team at least is trying to play as a team and play within the system.
Well, Jamie, one thing that I've learned from you, especially in your playing days, is that you have to play as hard on the ice as you do off the ice. That is
true.
Something that Jamie Rivers has really instilled in us.
It's a really good message.
Yeah, you got to play hard.
Yep.
On and off the ice.
Play hard now, play hard later.
That's right. Jamie did it, and Jamie had a long career because of it.
Yeah, probably could have been a lot better, too.
Well,
a little bit less.
By the way, Anthony, we have multiple people on the Air Comfort Service text line trying to remind you what day it is.
What day did I say? Wednesday?
Maybe. Would you like a redo?
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't even...
Did I say Wednesday?
Yeah.
I didn't even pick it up.
I'll be honest. I thought it was Wednesday.
It isn't?
I wish it was.
You know why I think it's Wednesday? Because Jamie's out tomorrow, and we're scrambling a little bit to find guy. And I have asked a couple of people, hey, you want to join the show tomorrow? You know, it's the Wednesday show. That's my bad. Let's do it again.
I didn't even pick up on it, so... Whoops.
We'll give you a redo.
That's my bad. Go ahead, Marsh.
This is so ridiculous. I love it. We're going to be so confused.
Let's get nasty on a Tuesday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN, and we have a great show for you, including coming up next. We're going to tell you why the moment that we knew the Buffalo Bills season and their championship window closed, it wasn't the loss of the Broncos. We'll tell you what it was next on 101 ESPN.
Jamie Rivers here, joined by Tracy Bibb from the Bibb Agency. Tracy, how are we doing today?
Awesome. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing good. Now, winter here is slowly coming upon us here. Is there anything from an insurance standpoint that I should make sure I'm taking care of?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now is actually a great time to just relook at your insurance in general. We are in a hard insurance market. What that basically means is we are seeing rate pressure across the board with almost every company. But not only that, we're also seeing things like deductibles are changing, or some people are getting non-renewed by their company. Different kind of underwriting changes that are happening with different companies, and that is a great time to reach out, give us a call, because we're not doing those same kind of things, and see what we can do with your insurance.
That's why you call Tracy and the Bibb Agency. They treat you like family, make sure they take care of you. And I know from my own experience that Tracy makes sure I have the proper coverage and fights for the lowest rate all the time. And she can do the same for you. All you have to do is give her a call at 314-328-4260. That's 314-328-4260. Tracy, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thanks so much. Go Blues.
So there was a moment over the last 24 hours where I thought to myself, hey, this Buffalo Bills championship window, that puppy's closed. And believe it or not, it wasn't last night when they lost to the Broncos.
What?
Yeah.
That wasn't the worst for you?
That wasn't the worst.
What?
It was bad.
12 men on the field.
It was bad, don't get me wrong. Yeah, 12 men on the field after you with the Broncos kicker Will Lutz missing a field goal.
Yeah.
After missing an extra point earlier in the game. And then another field goal, I think, too, didn't he?
He missed 2 extra points and a field goal.
That's what it was.
Yeah, he had himself a night.
He had himself a night.
He left a hero. He left a hero.
He did. He walked.
What did they remember? The last
kick, man. It's not the first kick or the second or third. It's the last.
Didn't see him get cut today.
Nope. Now, believe it or not, the championship window, I thought, closed when they fired offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. And this isn't even about Ken Dorsey, because I like Joe Brady. I thought Joe Brady got a raw deal in Carolina.
I like Tom Brady better.
I know you like Tom Brady. Yeah. Joe Brady, though, no relation, was...
We think.
Yeah, who knows at this point. He was the co-coordinator for that Joe Burrow-led LSU team, the one that was historic. He got hired by the Carolina Panthers. He was fired like midway through the year because they didn't like what he was doing. Carolina really hasn't figured it out since. Mm-hmm. So I don't think Joe Brady's the problem. I don't think Joe Brady was the problem in Carolina. I like Brady. I think he's one of those young guys that could be one of those next innovative offensive coordinators. So again, this isn't about Ken Dorsey, but Jamie, what happens when you really feel the heat as a manager or as a, an appointed leader of the company, but not the owner? You really start feeling the heat.
Yeah.
When things start going sideways, you start looking for people to throw in front of the bus.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Sean McDermott did with Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey has not thrown an interception since his days at Miami. It's been a while for Ken Dorsey. Josh Allen's the one that's been throwing a bunch of interceptions. James Cook was the one that fumbled on the first play last night. It's not Ken Dorsey that's been turning the ball over. But when you start to go sideways, you start to look for people to throw under the bus. This is how I know this puppy is shut down. The Bills, there's no recovery here. The Bills are in a complete tailspin.
Well, for this season, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, because when you fire personnel like that mid-season, like I'm not talking about a special teams coach. I'm talking like your offensive coordinator.
Right.
You're tapping out.
Yeah, if you fire the janitor, you're like, found the problem.
Yeah.
It was him. Okay.
But I wonder if it had something to do with the play calling. I wonder if it had something to do with the offensive packages that were leading to some of these poor decisions or poor play by Josh Allen. Like, if Josh Allen's not grasping the system or it's set up for failure, and then he's trying to put the square peg in the round hole, I wonder. I don't know enough. Obviously, I'm not in the locker room. I've never coached football, never played quarterback in the NFL, so yet. But
still time.
Still, Zach Wilson's there, so I mean, there's hope. But I just wonder, can you maybe put blame on this? Like maybe Sean McDermott woke up. It was like, what the hell have we been doing? This is what we've been doing? That was planned? Get out of my office.
Whose fault is that, though?
Well, it's his fault ultimately,
Absolutely.
But he's not going to fire himself.
No, and you can't fire Josh Allen.
No, oh no, you can't.
So,
and I don't know if you'd want to. I know he's not. I know he's the turnover machine this year, but when you look league wide, like he's still a pretty high end quarterback.
The Bills' problems are turnovers on offense, and you lost 3 studs on defense. That's your problem. It hasn't looked right since that win over Miami, where they blew them out. It has been a slog since that point. But Sean McDermott screwed up with the schedule going out to London. Remember that whole deal? Where he's like, listen, guys, we're going to stay up all night. Then we're going to practice, and your body clocks are going to be great. Josh Allen was huffing coffee for 48 hours, even though the guy's never had coffee before in his life. He's like, I was just drinking it. You screwed that up. You lost to the Jaguars. You should have lost to the Giants at home as a 15.5-point favorite. Should have lost that one outright to Tyrod Taylor and company. You do lose to a bad Broncos team. It's a mess. Sean McDermott's going to lose his job when this is all said and done. If the Bills do not make the playoffs, I firmly believe that. I think that this is the start of it. He had his fall guy, but once you use the fall guy, that's it. You can start looking for other people to throw off the Titanic, but at some point they're going to look at you.
Yeah.
So you get one, Spider-Man style. You get one. If they don't make the playoffs, Jamie, I think that he's on his way out, and the Bills look to regroup because Josh Allen has saved this team. Allen and Diggs have saved this team for the most part.
Let's take a look at this just for a second because
going to go to the record game or the schedule game.
I'm looking at the division. And the only reason I'm doing this is because Aaron Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee show today saying that he's going to be back by Thanksgiving.
Yeah, okay.
Who knows, man? Who knows? If he is, did the Jets have a chance to catch the Bills? And I don't think so, but right now it's like a 1-game difference. They play head-to-head, so that won't help them. But then, man, look at the schedule for the Bills here. They go to the Jets. Oh, no, the Jets go to them, and then they go to Philly, Kansas City, then they've got the Cowboys and the Chargers. I guess they got some serious teams here. They're not making the playoffs.
Like I said.
They're not.
You can't beat the Broncos at home.
Yeah,
you can barely beat the Giants at home. You think you're going to beat the Chiefs? You think you're going to go down to Miami after what you did to Miami at home when you're at full strength? You think you're going to go down to South Beach and they're not going to have something for you? The Bills aren't going to make the playoffs. The team that benefits, I think, the most in the AFC from this is the team that screwed up on Sunday. That's the Bengals. If you look at how things play out. I know a lot of people still want to believe that the Jets could squeeze in because Aaron Rodgers will eventually come back. Aaron Rodgers coming back and Aaron Rodgers being effective are two different things.
Well, and how far out of it will you be by that point?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So you look at the AFC North, the Houston Texans also could benefit here too with the Bills slide. The Houston Texans are 5-4. The Browns are 6-3. The Bengals are 5-4.
Oh, you're talking in the wild card
Talking
race.
about the wild card race. You look at that group, the teams that really nobody expected them to do much this year, Texans especially. If the Bills further collapse, and they're out of it, those are the teams that I'd be looking for in the AFC.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I think it's done. I think the Bills are done. Donnie Fandango, I apologize. Your Bills are done.
I saw Donnie today, and
I'm glad someone saw him.
Well, normally, like if we see each other, Donnie and I mean, instantly we have that football connection. He starts going. Yeah, let me say something. But probably the same thing with you and the Blues with Donnie. He didn't say anything, which is terrifying for me. I looked at Donnie. I paused because I'm like, hey, that was a rough loss last night.
You brought it up first?
I didn't bring it up. I thought he was going to.
Yeah.
He didn't say a word.
You didn't want to talk about it, Anthony.
Which, for Donnie to not, vent and get that off his chest, I wonder if somebody is laying in a pool of his own blood right now, not knowing what just happened.
Oh, it's in play. It's in play for sure. In fact, Donnie and I were leaving at the same time yesterday. And we were talking about the Bills and the Monday Nighter. And I said, he's like, I don't know about my Bills team, blah, blah. And I said, they got this tonight. They'll win tonight.
Oh, boy.
I go, and then he goes, yeah, but how will they win? Will it be ugly? I don't know, just not confident in them. Like, Donnie, don't worry. They'll beat the friggin' Broncos. I haven't seen Donnie today.
You just avoided him.
I'm kind of like, oosh.
Yeah.
I did this to you.
And speaking of winning, congrats to Jamie for winning the tiebreaker.
Yes, thank you.
Or at least in his mind.
In his mind, he did.
Yeah.
Hey, if you have more points, that's bad. You're supposed to have fewer points.
This isn't golf. Yeah.
My rule book is different.
I know. But
yeah. Actually, was sitting with my lawyer this morning.
Yeah.
Discussing the Pick'em Challenge. And he was excited for me that I won. Said that he'd be happy to go to bat for me.
That text this morning was so funny.
Jamie will be getting shot. Jamie will get shot.
How long did it take you guys to figure out, he's screwing around or right away?
I
or
knew.
Were you like,
I knew right away. That's why
I didn't. I hadn't looked at the score yet. So he's like, yeah, I won. And I'm like, oh, crap. I need to go look at the score.
I texted the score.
Oh, did you?
Hang on. Let's go back.
Jamie can read it.
It's funny. And I said 9:15 this morning. I go, okay, so who's getting shot today? Because one, I can never log in anywhere except for here at work.
That's typical Jamie as it is. He's like, I want to know, but I can't log in. I have to text Marsh and Anthony.
And I had no idea how the tiebreaker works anyways.
Right.
So Anthony texts back, Marsh plus 88, Jamie plus 84. I respond with, great, I won. Marshy puts a cringy face, and I go, sorry, Marshy. I doubled down on it. Then Anthony goes, Marsh won. But somehow I think you already knew that. That's not the way I see it. Then I did go to the lawyer.
Yeah.
Say, my lawyer's here. So you happy to litigate for me?
Yeah,
Anthony said he'd be my lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
What have you got to lose?
Seriously. I do pretty well and prove me wrong.
You do.
I mean,
That's true.
My record's pretty good and prove me wrong.
It's very good. So I'll be getting shot twice at some point.
Yes, sir. Yes, you will. So Jamie's got, Jamie will face his punishment. Jamie with a very kind request, which we will honor. Jamie said, hey, when you shoot today, back up a little bit.
Just a bit.
Just a bit. He's not trying to avoid the pain.
No.
What he is trying to avoid is a hole in his suit pants.
My suit pants.
Because he's got Blues TV coverage tonight.
Imagine two big holes right in the ass cheeks.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell happened to Riv?
What I said, though, was if we allow Marsh to shoot, you don't have to worry about it because you'll probably take two to the head.
Probably get hit in the back of the head, yeah.
Knowing Marsh.
Yep.
All right, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. This incident, but boy, there's something going on in sports right now where Jamie and I were talking about this in the office. We're like, how? Why? How? We'll get into it next on 101 ESPN.
Cheap, fun.
Boy, oh boy, times are exciting over at Dirt Cheap. It was great to have the whole crew in here yesterday. Heck, we even had the Dirt Cheap Chicken in here talking to us. And I can tell you this, that Dirt Cheap is committed to bringing all of you the best possible prices when it comes to anything that you're looking for spirits, for wine, for beer. And if you're in the bourbon world, let me tell you something. They've got the best. They've got Blanton's. They've got Elijah Craig. They've got the Eagle Rare. They've got everything over at Dirt Cheap. And don't be fooled, because the name Dirt Cheap is only about the prices, not the alcohol that they have. They got all the high-end stuff for you over there, and they've got great customer service, too. If you don't know what goes into a certain cocktail, they're going to help you out. And they've got an amazing app as well. If you download the app, you can get more savings. You get a heads up on certain deals and specials that are coming up. There's VIP clubs that they have you be a part of. It's just a lot of fun being a part of that Dirt Cheap family. So please, if you have a minute, get into any Dirt Cheap location. Tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you. And remember, have fun, but be careful out there.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues are back in action tonight, taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. You can listen to that one right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We'll talk with Joe Vitale at 5:30, so stay tuned for that one. Last night, the Broncos beat the Bills 24-22. Denver missed a field goal as time ran out, but Buffalo had 12 men on the field. Will Lutz then nailed the second attempt, and Denver wrapped up Week 10 with a win, which led to Ken Dorsey, Buffalo's offensive coordinator, being fired. We'll talk more NFL and more Blues throughout the remainder of the show. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie, you and I were chatting about this in the office. You and I both saw this story earlier today, and I think you and I had the same reaction. So a man has been arrested on suspicion of manslaughter in the Adam Johnson death. If you don't know about Adam Johnson, he's the former NHL player that tragically passed away after his skate slashed him. And now there's an arrest more than 2 weeks later since police began investigating the incident that led to Johnson's death. And he was playing for the Nottingham Panthers in the Elite Ice Hockey League when, again, the skate went across his throat. Jamie, you're going to have to help me out on this one. I feel like you're opening up Pandora's box with something like this. There was no intention. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy that occurred. And unfortunately, in life, there are tragedies. Why impact two lives when there was no sort of intention here to kill Adam Johnson? I don't know. I don't get this one at all.
I mean, we're led to believe there was no intention. Okay, so let's just be clear here. I don't have access to the police files of what they've discovered or uncovered. I just can't fathom, with my clear sanity right now, that Matt Petgrave, the other player who is currently in custody, purposely kicked Adam Johnson in the throat. I don't believe that to be the case. Now, here's where it got me kind of a lot of questions in my head today. Because under the law of manslaughter, it's, you're not wanting to kill someone. So it's either, you intended to injure but not kill, or you intended to not injure but ended up killing them at all. You know what I mean? Like, the umbrella with the manslaughter charge is rather large, which is to me very difficult now to navigate. Because if that's the case, now this is a very unique, tragic situation, and I don't even know if Adam Johnson's family, if they would be happy right now that this player is arrested or not. I don't know. They're still grieving and going through their processes. So, I'm not going to drag the family into this at all, saying that this is what they want. But it led me down the road of, like, every infraction that happens on the ice or on the football field, that's a penalty. So let's say I'm playing hockey, you're playing against me, you cut across the ice, and I elbow you in the face. I get a 2-minute penalty for elbowing, but I break your jaw, and maybe you have concussions and your season's over, maybe your career's over. Who knows? Does that leave me exposed to be charged with assault? Because I'm not really playing ice hockey. I broke the rules. So elbowing's not part of ice hockey.
Right.
So now can I be charged with assault? We talk about multiple sports now. Anytime there's an infraction and someone gets seriously injured, can they be charged? Because beforehand, the Todd Bertuzzi thing was unique. That was a lawsuit. They didn't press charges to my knowledge. I know they talked about it. But I don't know, man. I'm just blown away. I don't know what the solution is for this. And again, I don't believe that Matt Petgrave purposely kicked Adam Johnson in the throat, let alone had the intention of taking his life at that point.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Like, I look at it, like the Cowboys player now, I forget his name, the linebacker for the Cowboys, whose season...
Van Der Esch.
Yeah, his season's over, could be career-ending. Can the law now charge Williams with assault?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know enough about the law and like what protections there are in the case of like, athletics. What I do know, Jamie, you played hockey for a long time. How difficult would it be to intend to do something like this?
Well,
in a play,
it would be. And look, I've watched the video today, and they have a very cleaned up version of it.
Yeah,
it doesn't look great. It doesn't look great. But the fact that this was a kick up in that area, that's on the player. He's got to be in control of his body.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. Like, technically, is it manslaughter? Yes, it is. It is, because he made a reckless, dangerous play that resulted in someone's death.
Mm-hmm.
Was it intentional? I don't believe it to be, but it doesn't change the result.
Right.
So it's no different than... I shouldn't say it's no different. I would compare it because I'm not a legal person here.
Yeah.
So don't take the full disclaimer. Okay, I'm not a lawyer. You should know that by now if you're listening. But if you're driving a car and you drop your phone and you reach down to grab it quickly and you run someone over.
Yeah.
You didn't intend to do it. Mm-hmm. You may not even realize you did it, but they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's the definition of manslaughter.
Right.
So again, both incidents are definitely under the umbrella.
Yeah.
I just don't know if we're opening up a whole new discussion towards future injuries and what players can do, and if local police can start to get involved on all of these. Because what would be stopping, let's say it's Chicago. We're in Chicago, the Blues, Blackhawks, big rivalry. Somebody for the Blackhawks gets injured on a dirty play. What's to stop the Chicago police from then pressing charges? Mm-hmm. Or going after player X, Y, or Z.
If there's no laws in place, nothing.
I don't know.
If there's no laws protecting players in that regard. Look, I will say this. If there was intention, then if there was intention to do harm, okay, then there needs to be a prosecution here.
Of course.
It's going to be very difficult, I think, to prove whether or not there was intent. And maybe that is why the police got involved.
Maybe
and
they
they're
know
trying
something we don't.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe they've got text messages that we don't know. There's a text message that say, hey, if I get close, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I'm going to kill this guy. Whoa,
Yeah.
No, that's it. You're gone.
Right.
We get a text message here from the 314. We get a lot of text messages, and I appreciate everybody's opinions on this because this is unprecedented territory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but this one I have to address. He says he has a history of kicking guys, and he's known as the dirtiest player in the league. Why are you protecting this goon? Stay woke, I guess. Stay woke? Okay, whatever, bro. I'm not protecting him. I'm not even... My discussion today has very little to anything to do with Matt Petgrave. Nothing. I'm talking the sports industry in its entirety. Every sport. And what penalties can lead to, what injuries or deaths can lead to. Like, that's what I'm talking about. And if he was the dirtiest player in the league, all of this is information that I'm sure the police have taken into consideration, and this is why they've gotten to the result that they're at. So defending him, absolutely not. I thought it was a scumbag play.
By the way, woke, you would be the one that would be woke in that scenario.
I wasn't going to go there, Anthony. I wasn't going to go there, but...
If we're protecting somebody that you feel as though attempted to create murder, you would be the one that would be woke under the definition of woke. Because you would be the one that would be bringing up an injustice. The hell are you talking about? We're not defending anybody. We are presenting this because this is, to me, when I saw that, it was eye-opening. I was shocked by it. To Jamie's point, maybe they have something else that would lead them to believe that this man should be charged for it. If that's the case, you just heard me say, go for it. These are tough combos.
So we got a couple people on here that claim they're lawyers, and I believe them. No reason not to.
Please, let's hear from them.
from the 217 says, I'm a lawyer, and Jamie, you're pretty much on point. Reckless or negligence can be enough for criminal charges, such as manslaughter. Intent is used for murders, battery, etc. If you play a sport, you accept some dangers, but not those beyond what is within the normal scope of play. Normal for the UFC is not the same as hockey and is not the same as bowling. It's a great comment. It's a great text. But that's my point, though. And somebody said, oh, the prosecutor would have to get involved. It's not the police. Just because I said the police would arrest you doesn't, I know how it works. But what if the local prosecutor has it out for a team, or he deemed it to be a really malicious play? I just think this is a really gray area. Mm-hmm. And it's not just for hockey. And trust me, again, it's not about Matt Petgrave and the Adam Johnson tragedy. It's not about that. It's about, should we open up this to interpretation moving forward, or do we just let the sport handle itself? I don't know.
Like another example, like what Myles Garrett did a few years ago, swinging his helmet
on Mason Rudolph.
On Mason Rudolph, like that's not a football play. So if there were serious injuries there, that's another example.
He could have easily been charged for that.
Yeah. Right.
That's assault with a weapon, basically.
Right.
So again, Marcia, you're right. So on point. Like, so what happens there?
That's the bigger discussion. Is like where is this going to lead sports into?
I think it goes to what the lawyer texted in, what Jamie read off. There's certain things that within the confines of the sport are, deemed okay within the confines of the sport. Taking off your helmet and using it as a weapon, using your skate as a weapon, that shouldn't be protected. So I think that was the best text that we got through.
We've got
the best
some
comments.
Great ones, by the way. There's a lot of people that are chiming in, for lack of better words, and they've got good opinions. But that's what this is about. This whole segment, this whole conversation is about just opinions, because we don't have hard facts on anything, whether it's the rules, what they figured out, why he was arrested, and what moving forward, how it's going to look.
All right, let's do NFL stock market buy, sell, hold next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Fellas, are you suffering from low energy, weight gain, fatigue, feeling anxious, irritability? Maybe that libido isn't what it used to be. Let me tell you, you're probably low in testosterone, and I've got the fix for you. It's Mentality. That's right. Mentality helped Anthony and I both tremendously. You get in there, you talk to the board-certified representatives, and then from there, Anthony, they create that unique program that is tailor-made for you.
You know what Jamie did? He took accountability. You know what I did? I took accountability. It may have taken a while. It may have taken Jamie and I to feel that frustration, that, just the whole life being overwhelmed, low energy, lack of motivation. If you were motivated before, you're not now. Like, why? Is it something physical? You have to take accountability for it, though. If you're tired of feeling that way, Jamie and I have the solution for you. Head down to Mentality. Sit down with their experts. They'll run you through a brief questionnaire. Hey, how you feeling right now? When did you start feeling this way? It's easy stuff.
Yeah, how can we make you feel better?
Exactly. And then you go through the process. You get the blood work done. And if you're like Jamie and I, deficient in certain vitamins, low on testosterone, this is why you're feeling that way. Would you like to do the program? Yes. And after a while, you start feeling better. So it's up to you. Do you want to take accountability for the way you're feeling? If you do, head down to Mentality. Tell tell them Jamie and Anthony sent you.
Yeah, and the one thing I love too, Anthony, is that the technicians, they care. Every time you go in, how you feeling? Is this working? Are you happy with your results? Like, they're right there, and
constantly checking in
with you every step of the way. So if you want that kind of that kind of service, that kind of treatment, and you want the results, go visit our friends over at Mentality, or visit them online at lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
NFL stock market buy, sell, or hold with Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh.
Yeah, guys, yesterday we got a Sports Six-Pack question asking about the 6-win teams and which teams we thought were the best out of all of those teams in the NFL. So we're going to do 6-win teams today in our buy, sell, or hold NFL
Marshy,
stock
look at
market.
You creative little son of a gun.
Yeah.
You're all grown up right in front of us.
So let's start off with the AFC. Let's go with the Miami Dolphins buy, sell, or hold.
Ooh.
I'm buying. You know, I bought low at the start of the year.
I know, Anthony, but that's a boring way to do it. You just take a team that's crappy and you buy because, well, that's the best time to do it.
I'll buy again. Everybody's down on the Dolphins, right?
Well, they should be. Most of their wins have come against crap teams.
All of their wins have come against crap teams. And guess what, Jamie? They got the Raiders, the Jets, the Commanders, the Titans, the Jets, all on the docket before they take on the Cowboys, Ravens, and Bills.
Yeah.
So they got a bunch of crap teams coming up. So now it's time to buy even more for the Dolphins because they're going to make a deep run here. Bills stink, Jets stink, Patriots are awful. Dolphins are going to have this division wrapped up in about, I'll give them 3 weeks.
So that's why I'm going to buy, is based upon what I watched last night from the Buffalo Bills and the Jets and the Patriots. There's no threat to the Dolphins losing this division.
No.
So I'm going to buy based on that. Not because I believe in them, because I think the other teams are so bad.
That's fair. I do believe in them.
Oh.
I just don't believe in them to win a Super Bowl. I don't believe in them
You
to win
picked them to go to the Super Bowl.
I did not. I picked the Ravens, and you know it.
I think Marshy picked them, didn't he?
No.
I picked the Bills.
Yeah. Do you pick the Bills to
looks
go
terrible.
to win the Super Bowl or to go to the Super Bowl?
No, I have them just in the Super Bowl.
Who's your NFC team?
The Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Sure.
All right.
So, all right, you guys are buying the Dolphins.
Yes.
I'll buy them too. I'll buy the Dolphins. The Steelers, buy, sell, or hold.
I'll hold.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going. Hang on. I want to look. Well,
I'll hold. They got the Browns and the Bengals coming up.
yeah, but then they've got the Cardinals, the Patriots, and the Colts.
True.
Then they have the Bengals, Seahawks, Ravens. Yeah, I'll hold for now.
You win. If you split one of these next 2 games, both on the road, I'll start to buy you.
They just don't have a quarterback. That's my problem. Like,
They're starting to run the ball better, though.
they are, and that's typical Pittsburgh Steelers football. That's like what you think of. For me, primarily, I think of the Steelers as like an in-your-face
Run the
running
ball,
game.
play defense.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I still wish they had a guy who could play quarterback.
Be nice.
Sorry, Kerry.
But if they get the
I
ball,
have Kerry Davis rather than old little hands there.
Kerry could probably sling it.
Kenny Pickett only has 6 touchdowns this year, but he only has 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
So he's not turning the ball over all that much.
That's not great,
No.
though, Marshy. He's
you
got
talking
only
about?
2 more touchdowns than interceptions.
I had to go to the second page to find Kenny Pickett when it comes to interceptions.
He's also not throwing.
He's
That
not
also tell
throwing.
you he's not throwing a ball like into tight windows at all. That's the thing about interceptions. They're not all created equal. Like if you're Josh Allen, he's turning the ball over at a rapid rate. But there are some interceptions that, you're taking your shots. But if you only have 4 with 6 touchdowns, you're also not slinging it at all.
He has 3 passes that have been 40-plus yards or more.
That's it on the season. 3?
3.
Yeah, it's not good.
As long as 72.
How many does Patrick Mahomes have in comparison? Jordan Love will take more shots than Kenny Pickett. And nobody likes Jordan Love as a quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes only has 4.
He only has 4 40 yards?
4 40 yards.
Wait, is
Guess
that
who-
completions or attempts?
This is completions.
Okay.
40-plus.
Do you have the attempts?
more.
He
Attempts?
doesn't have anybody who runs downfield anymore.
That's true, too.
I can't
That's
see
a
the
good point,
attempts.
Jamie.
I can't see the attempts on this page.
All right.
I will say the leader in 40-plus yard passes completed or more is Derek Carr with 7.
Wow.
And then Tua.
That's a conundrum.
tied with him.
Is it air yards at 40 or more?
It just says
Or is it
40
like-
plus. That's
Okay.
what I'm just on passing on player stats on NFL.com.
I wonder if
Not the
Derek
advanced stats, but
I wonder if Derek Carr has like a couple of 10-yard dump offs that went for 40.
I mean, he had a few like long passes in the first couple of weeks to ice some of those games.
Yeah, true. He's a good quarterback. I've always told you guys that.
I don't remember that. Let's do one from the NFC here. Let's go with the Seahawks. Buy, sell, or hold.
So, I haven't been. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, but
this.
Are you letting your hatred get in the way of logic?
I don't even hate the Seahawks.
To do that, and so have I.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
like, I'd rather die than cheer for that team.
Aaron Rodgers, that whole thing. Yeah, I'll give you that. The Seahawks,
he just doesn't like him as a football team.
I like Pete Carroll. I like their uniforms. I love DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. I don't think that Geno Smith is playing well this season at all. I don't know how they have 6 wins, quite frankly.
I don't know.
They're average. They're an average team that is 6-3 right now.
I don't know how it looks for them here. They got the Rams this upcoming week, so I think that looks like a win. But then here's their schedule.
Is Stafford playing? Because the Rams give them problems.
But here's the schedule after the Rams. Niners, Cowboys, Niners, Eagles.
Oh, they're screwed.
Sell.
That's good for my Vikings. I'll take that.
Your Vikings don't even need the Seahawks to lose. Your Vikings are winning out, baby.
They might.
Okay, let's slow down.
They might. They got.
I'm actually cheering for the Vikings.
Yeah.
I understand that, but I don't like it.
Why don't you?
Very
He's that guy.
superstitious.
He's that guy.
Superstitious.
You can't cheer for my team.
No,
Only I can school
I'm not-
Vikings.
No, I'm not protective
dare
over
you.
the
That's
team.
awful. Now watch the juju I put on them.
I have to eat 24 waffles at the end of the season,
That's
and
a
you
your
won't
team.
even.
That's
you
a
won't
your
even give
team
that?
problem. Your team has enough problems.
Anthony, watch what we do to his team now.
Oh, I got him.
No,
10th.
you guys didn't
Hey,
believe at the beginning of the season.
Jamie, I got him 10th in my Stalter stack up this
There we
week.
go. There it is. See how this works, Marshy?
Yeah.
You
They're
play
not
that way?
10th.
You want to play that way?
They're either 9th or 11th.
We can play that way.
Jamie,
Anthony,
tell him rule number 1.
nobody's safe.
That's right.
We're not doing the Stalter stack up this week.
Oh, we are.
I need a win.
We are. I'm going to keep them 10th all year long.
Broncos are
That's the
rolling right
cursed
now.
spot. That is the cursed spot.
Even
10th.
if they lose the next 3, they're 10th.
10th. You know I got 10th, boys?
You did this to
Yep,
you.
that's correct.
Oh, this is like Anthony jumping off the Lions bandwagon, isn't it?
I didn't jump off the Lions
No,
bag.
it was worse. You tried to sewer the team.
Jamie threw me off.
Yeah, head first, too.
Yes.
Get the hell off my train.
I get hit again in the head.
Shouldn't have said anything.
It's not hurting anymore. That's probably a problem. Is that it?
No, we have a few others, but
What, were you up against it?
we're up against it.
What are you
Plus,
paying?
I don't want to bring up the Cowboys, and
How about them
we already brought up the
Cowboys?
Vikings, the Browns.
I'm buying the Vikings. I'm buying the Cowboys. I'm holding on the Browns. Who else?
We got the 49ers.
Buy.
Bye. Yeah.
All day long.
All day. It's like buying Apple stock.
Yeah. I don't
buy
care
it.
if it's
I don't care.
expensive. Oh, it dipped a little bit. Buy.
Bye.
All right. How big of a factor is the fourth line as the identity line for the team? Jamie and I talked about this a little bit early on, but we'll dive into it a little bit more next on 101 ESPN.
Well, if you're looking to improve your home, big home renovation, and you're thinking about upgrading your bathroom or your kitchen, please visit my friends at E&B Granite. They are located at 6135 Manchester Avenue. When you walk in, please tell them that Jamie sent you in there and let them know what you're trying to do. And if you're like me, I didn't really know what I wanted to do in the kitchen. I know I wanted countertops. I know I wanted to upgrade the cabinets, but there's so much available out there that you're not always sure. That's why the sales representative is so important over at E&B Granite. She was amazing. She came out and she figured out kind of what my vision was, made some suggestions, and then we walked in back, took a look at the countertops. She showed me granite, quartz, marble, soapstone. We ended up picking quartz. It was a beautiful countertop. She did a great job with the backsplash. The cabinets were fantastic. The technicians were awesome, super friendly, knowledgeable, answered any questions that I had, and I couldn't be happier with the look of my kitchen, and that's thanks to E&B Granite. So therefore, you need to give them a call at 314-645-9300. That's 314-645-9300, or visit them at enbgranite.com.
Time Check is brought to you by Collection Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. We talked about this earlier in the show, but Jamie, it is an important aspect of the Blues right now because of, I don't know, the way they won the Stanley Cup. Now, it's a different fourth line. I get that. I get the Ted Alexander.
I can handle Alex Steen and Barbie on my fourth line right now.
But the way that if you just look at this from, from a general perspective, the way that Chief has utilized his fourth line in the past, I think it's vital that the fourth line has an identity. And this Blues team, as you mentioned before, this fourth line certainly does have an identity. It's kind of that built-in identity that line during the Cup, forget who was on it, also had. Hey, we're going to mix and match against anybody, including your top line. Go get them, boys.
Anthony, this fourth line, it's like putting a guarantee on the outside of the box, Makes you feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside,
Yeah, but you can slap a guarantee on any side of the box.
You can, but it doesn't make you feel this way.
Yeah, guaranteed piece of crap.
Yeah, what did you just call them?
That's what I'm saying. That's what you're calling them.
No, I'm not. I'm going in the other direction, but, man, you're feisty today. No, all jokes aside, Tommy Boy put over to the side, too.
His best. That's one of the best lines, though. Because all of a sudden, your change is missing off the dresser, and your daughter's knocked up. I've seen it all before.
It's great. It's great. There's nothing to do with the Blues' fourth line.
No, it doesn't. No, good call on that.
But, look, Oscar Sundqvist, to me, was the game changer in this. We talked about it in the offseason before he re-signed with the Blues. And we talked about how he could possibly change the look of the forward group. And he has. I mean, guys, not only do they love Sonny, he's an amazing dude. He's a great teammate. He blocks shots. He's laying guys out. And he's showing some real offensive upside this year, scoring goals. And that play he made to Bucci on Saturday night in Colorado, that's not an easy play. He's coming in on his offhand, and to pass it to where Bucci was, the defenseman's stick was in the way. So Sonny loads up the shot, pulls it back to the backhand, and slides it just in front, and Bucci gets the goal. Mm-hmm. So that's the kind of stuff that has made the difference for the Blues. And that fourth line has made a difference. And we played this audio earlier, but I want to hear it again because Craig Berube, as we know, he loves his identity lines, and he had some really good things to say about this group.
Sonny and Blazer and Neighbors have been a real good identity line, in my opinion, and also they've, scored some goals for us. And obviously, Sonny on the penalty kill's done a good job. But that line's been a real good identity line, a forecheck line, a heavy line, and they're playing to that identity.
What I love about this fourth line is they all play a real heavy game. Mm-hmm. They're not afraid to run you through the boards, block shots, do all that stuff. Hell, they'll throw down if they have to.
Sure.
But they're all offensively gifted, too. Let's not forget that. Sammy Blais had a great run to the second half of last season, so much so that we're like, wow, this guy can score goals. Yeah, he scored a lot of goals in junior, real good player in the minors. Jake Neighbors was a top scorer on his team. So these guys have the ability to bring some of the offense to the table as well, which is great because your fourth line now doesn't have to just be out there eating up clock time.
Yeah.
Just hoping you don't get scored on. They don't have to do that. This line can keep the other team off the scoreboard and at the same time apply pressure physically and offensively.
We got a text from the 330. The fourth line this year has been awesome, a real strength of the team. I love watching them play. They play hard. They forecheck and backcheck. They've been great. Huge improvement over the last 2 years. They bring energy. They create scoring opportunities. Sorry for hijacking the segment. Nice show. Let's go Blues.
Well, they're right.
Hold on. You're always welcome, man.
Yeah, the water's always warm.
Yes.
Thanks to Anthony.
It's the pee pool.
It is. But no, the texter brings up something, too, that kind of jarred my memory or my brain, is that whenever the fourth line goes out there and does something positive, they block a shot, they have a great back check, a big hit, a goal. I can tell you this, the bench becomes electric. Mm-hmm. Those guys are beloved by their teammates, and when they get out there and they do something positive for the team, the boys are up. They're banging the boards, they're yelling at the guys, they're hyped up because Sonny has a big block shot. Jake Neighbors runs somebody over. Sammy Blais dusts out the goalie. Like, whatever it is, right? it's amazing. It's like cheering for the underdog in any kind of a sporting event. And the reference is because...
Like Michigan.
Yeah, America's team. But whenever you have the guys on the fourth line who are not expected to do, massive things, when they do things, it motivates the group.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I like the identity line this year for the Blues. I like what they're bringing to the table. And overall, I think the attitude of the team has been, work hard first, worry about individuals second.
Well, Craig Berube has sent that message throughout. He sent that message throughout training camp. He sent that message throughout the preseason. He has sent that message through, some of the decisions to sit certain players, healthy scratch certain guys.
Probably.
He probably could, but I think that he has been measured, and I love the way that Chief has discussed to the media doing it his way and not just like a year ago saying, all right, the men in the room will figure it out. I think he has the faith and the trust in his players, but if he needs to send a message, he's going to do it this year. And if you're not playing the way that he has laid out the vision for Blues hockey, that cliched for a reason, 200-foot game, you're going to find yourself in the press box. So I like the way that he has handled this and how the players have responded.
The head coach has to be the captain of the ship. You can have everybody else doing their jobs correctly, but when it comes time to make important decisions, you have to be the leader. And I think that, Craig Berube, like a lot of coaches, they're ever evolving. If you're not, you're screwed. Get out of the business. Because if you don't continue to evolve because of certain situations or the way things are trending or certain players, then you're probably not going to be around for very long. And I think what Craig Berube learned last year from him openly saying it to us, members of the media, is that he waited too long to interject himself as far as some of the decisions and handling some of the things that were going on, and that he wouldn't do that again.
Right.
And so that self-reflection, that tells me that I've got a head coach that's aware of what he does right and what he can improve on. A lot of head coaches are so egotistical that every decision they make is the right one, even when it's the wrong one.
Sure.
And Chief is not like that. And it just goes back to his time as a player, the way he was. He was always accountable out there.
Well, pride gets in the way.
Yeah,
Pride gets in the way for me a lot. You're prideful. You want to do it a certain way. You believe that it's going to work. And then when the evidence is there that it's not working, you let pride get in the way and say, no, it's going to work.
Pride messing with you.
Exactly. But not for Chief, not for those that are intelligent and unemotional when they're trying to get something accomplished. So good on him, good on the players. Things are rolling right now. Blues Lightning tonight, pregame starting at 6 o'clock. No kidding. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. By the way, if you got a Blues-related question, you can always send it in the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646 because we got Blues cues coming up at the bottom of the hour. So 3:30, got some time to send in your Blues-related questions. We're going to play Are You Sold next.
You got to get them boys to buy.
Anthony, I know that you and I love watching football. I know Marshy loves watching his Vikings in particular. And I also know that I love FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, for several reasons. And they've always got great promotions and deals and things that are going on. But right now, if you're not signed up, you're considered a new customer, which is good. Because new customers are going to get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. So all that means, Anthony, and I know you know this, is it's $150 and all your team has to do is win. You don't have to worry about the spread, just pick the winner.
Yeah. If you like an underdog, you'd like to risk, go for it. But you don't have to do it that way. You can take a large favorite. If you feel really good about a certain team this weekend, then sign up for FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com/fast. Get in on this promo that Jamie just read to you. Have your team win, and then you get $150 back in bonus bets. Then with those bonus bets, that's up to you. You could do spreads. You could do player props. You could do same-game parlays if you want. You could do regular parlays if you want. You could do whatever you want at FanDuel. But make sure you take advantage of this promo because it's not going to last much longer. BT's got the rest.
You can do it all over at FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com/fast and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/fast. 21 and over in President, Illinois. First online real money wager. Only $5 pregame money line wager required. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable bonus. Best that expires 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's a fast lane here on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers here. Anthony Stalter rattling the airsoft gun behind me, trying to intimidate me. And Andrew Marsh working the dials. It's time for Are You Sold?
All right, gentlemen, are you sold on Jakub Vrana's play since being healthy scratched?
Good question. You know who I think is playing really well? I think Colton Parayko is playing really well. I think Jordan Binnington has been off the charts. I love Torrey Krug's play of late. Pavel Buchnevich, boy, it's nice to have him in the lineup again. I'm sold on these guys, that's for sure. The captain, Braden Shen. Love that he's tickled the twine recently.
Took the heck out of it.
And Robert Thomas, boy, he's been off the charts. So
yep.
I am sold on that group. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking, Marsh.
I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the next question. Are you sold on this being Bill Belichick's last season in New England?
Oh, this is spicy, as the kids say these days. Did you see the statement that Dan Orlovsky made?
No. What did your favorite human being say today?
Well, Dan Orlovsky said that, let me grab it here. I don't want to mess up Dan's quotes because, you know, he's a real smart guy and me not so much. And, yeah, maybe I didn't. I sent it to Marshy. Okay, here's what he says. Dan Orlovsky said that he has heard that Patriots head coach Bill Belichick will be the coach/GM for another team next season, and that he's heard the location has already been determined.
How?
He knows something. Uncle Bill's moving.
The only team right now with a head coaching vacancy is the Las Vegas Raiders.
Can you imagine if he went in there and cleaned up McDaniel's mess?
He probably would. I mean, GM, though, that's the tough part.
Yeah. Well, there's also, you can't forget here, too, is you could, like, other teams could be moving on from certain coaches. Like,
yeah, right.
Brandon Staley could be gone. He just doesn't know it yet. Ron Rivera could be gone. He just doesn't know it yet.
Bill Belichick with Justin Herbert.
There you go. See, when we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, I had brought up the Chargers because I want Bill to have a QB again.
Well, he certainly would have one there.
He certainly would. I know that a lot of people are like, well, he doesn't want anything about Brady. What legendary coach has won without a quarterback?
John Harbaugh. He won with the defense.
So that was...
They had Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, that was Brian Billick.
Oh, what about Joe Flacco?
Joe Flacco,
that was Harbaugh.
Yeah. What legendary head coach has won without a quarterback?
He's a legend. What are you talking about? He's coaching America's team.
Bill Walsh.
At the collegiate level.
Bill Walsh, legend.
No, that's Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, you said John.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's okay, buddy.
That's on me. That's on me.
They're actually
brother passion, though.
They're actually related.
They are, yeah. Right. This time.
Right.
We're right about that.
You're right.
But no,
that's
Bill
on
Walsh
me.
won with Montana, right?
Oh, who's Montana?
Don't you even.
There's a lot of teams that...
Mike Tomlin won at the top level. With who? Big Ben.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy. So one at the... he's not a legend. Never mind.
Yeah, seriously.
What legendary head coach is that? Andy Reid, legendary head coach, right? One with Mahomes.
Well,
this argument of like, Bill's never won anything without Tom. What legendary head coach has won anything with a horrendous quarterback or an average quarterback, for that matter?
You think Belichick would go to Chicago? I don't know what the connection
would be, but sure.
That team's even worse.
But that's my thing is I don't know what his appetite would be to make a lateral move to where you're going from a crap team to another crap team with no quarterback.
Right.
Like, I don't get it, which is why the Chargers makes the most sense to me from the standpoint of the quarterback. Even Washington, like, their quarterback is mid.
No.
You know, it's like, yeah.
I want to see him go to L.A. I want to see him with Herbert.
Cool.
You see Bill? Cool. Like, could Bill still wear the hoodies out in L.A.?
Oh, he just cut the sleeves off.
I know, but
he cuts that off.
But it's still a sweatshirt.
It's indoor, though. I'm sure they have AC.
What do you wear the hoodie?
Kroenke doesn't let them use the AC when they use his stadium.
You don't think Kroenke's pumping AC in there?
No.
Not for the Chargers.
Not for the Chargers.
No, he shuts off all the lights for the Chargers.
No hot water,
nothing.
All of that stuff.
So you pay for this on your own. I'm not buying it. I say he's back in New England, regardless of what Dan Orlovsky
hot
said.
topic, though.
Are you sold on the Cardinals looking to trade for Tyler Glasnow?
I'm sold for sure. What are you trading, though? I have to know it's going the other way.
Well,
because
no matter what it is,
the Tampa Bay Rays are going to be
probably the future of baseball.
Yeah, probably the next superstar.
So who is the guy that's the worst player? So
Dylan Carlson.
I'll send them Taylor Motter for Glasnow. Then Motter becomes like utility Gold Glove of the Year next year.
The Rays are going to have to want you. It would be somebody like Dylan Carlson.
I'm fine with that.
Or Tyler O'Neill.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you they would look at that and be like, oh, we can help this guy.
Right. The only problem is even the Rays are smart enough to know you can't do anything with health.
True.
You know?
Maybe they got some kind of medicine man.
And that, I guess, would also apply to Carlson.
You know what they need? They need a shortstop.
Yeah, they do.
Tommy Edman.
I'm not trading Mason Wynn.
No, that's ridiculous, Marsh. He just got here.
Are you serious right now?
Are you serious? Did you or did you not say shortstop?
Yeah.
Did you not hear the name that I just associated
Mason Wynn is the Cardinals shortstop.
Is Mason Wynn.
What the hell is wrong with you,
I'm
Marsh?
not trading Mason Wynn.
This Vikings,
these up. I'm out.
These victories for the Vikings have got you all perplexed. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Tommy Edman.
Yeah, your center fielder.
He is. We shouldn't laugh. He is. He's just starting.
He's totally the center fielder.
I can't deal with you two today.
Yes, I am sold that the Cardinals will would be interested in getting Tyler Glasnow. Yes, I am sold.
Are you sold on the Braves landing Aaron Nola and or Sonny Gray?
Or both. And Ohtani.
I don't know about Ohtani. You got a lot of contracts going out.
See that picture of Ohtani today? Boarding the Dodgers private jet.
Son of a... I said the Dodgers 2 years ago.
No, you went on
and everybody else said the Dodgers 2 years ago.
Really went out on a limb.
I certainly did, yeah.
Risky take.
The Dodgers, who acquire everybody.
That's
I'm
going to
like,
be...
you know what? It's going to be the Dodgers.
It's going to be the Dodgers or the Yankees, okay?
One of those two.
It's a risk, but I'm
And
willing
it's
to
not
take
the Dodgers or the Yankees. It's going to be the Rangers.
It might be.
You all laughed at me when I said the Dodgers. What was the question? Yeah, I think the Braves would. Yes, I am sold. The Braves are interested in Nola or
No, will they land?
will
Yes,
they land?
the Braves will land one of them.
They'll land
for
one
sure.
of them. Yes,
For sure.
I am sold on that.
They are all in, man.
Yeah, they need pitching.
What if they get both? How will that affect what we see here in St. Louis?
Well, you know how they're like already 1,000 times better than you are.
Yeah.
They would be triple that.
Oh, wow. 3,000?
Yes. Yep. But that's it.
That's
So,
a lot.
certainly is.
I mean, you never know.
All right, just get in the dance.
Let's get in there, baby.
Oh, jeez.
Just get in, Jamie. Things happen. Look at the Diamondbacks.
You're right, Anthony. If you just get in, you never know what can happen.
Yep. Could
All
have
right.
some fun
After one
for a while.
solid game
Not that long.
It depends.
for the Blues on the power play, are you sold that the Blues PP is back?
Oh,
Chief
What's
said
so
it yesterday.
funny about it?
no, that's well said, by the way.
Yeah. Hold.
You think that score on the power play is funny?
Look,
I'm going to hold on that.
it's not buy, sell, or hold, donkey. It's are you sold?
He was
doing
already
the
playing
thing I
prove me
do.
wrong in the
Screw
first
up all the
question.
segments.
I'm holding.
Yeah, you are. All right. Here's what I'm sold on is that the power play removed the Coyotes game. Up until the Coyotes game, the power play had been getting more effective. They were getting some better looks. They were getting some chances. Even the second power play unit against the Coyotes got several shots on net. So do I think their PP problems are solved? I don't know if they're ever solved until you go on a serious run of 5, 6, 7 games in a row with a power play goal. But I do feel like their confidence is going to be a lot better now after scoring those 2 goals the other night.
Are you sold on Washington staying undefeated? Washington Huskies college football team.
No, I'm not. I am not.
Oregon's going to beat them.
I could see Oregon State beating them this weekend.
Oregon State, how about that? They've got to play Washington and Oregon, their next 2 games.
Civil War.
I don't see them beating Washington. I see Oregon. Does Oregon play? They'll play them again in the Pac.
They could play them in the Pac-12 championship,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think Oregon blows the wheels off of them.
I am with you on that. Oregon's better right now. Washington, since that Oregon game, has...
They've slowly.
They haven't... It's like an airplane that, like, it's preparing to land, you know? It's just preparing to land. It's
Not
just,
a crash landing.
Yeah, it's like this right now.
Well, they need to make sure they actually run the football into the end zone and not drop it before the goal line.
In his defense, he's a defenseman. He doesn't typically run the ball.
Well, how dumb do you have to be for that?
Holy smokes.
Like 3 yards
He wasn't
short.
even close.
No.
He wasn't even close when he dropped that
Like,
ball.
honestly, I don't know. If I was the head coach, I don't know what I would do to that player. Well, I think I might just gorilla glue his hand to a football for a week.
What about the 2 or
that's
3
probably
players,
illegal.
the teammates that ran right by him? They're like, yeah, hey, buddy, pick up the football.
One Utah player goes, I'll hop on this.
The Ute.
Yeah, I think Oregon State beats them this Saturday. I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it. In Corvallis, Oregon State, the Beavers beat Washington.
It's bittersweet, though, because
I think
that's
the
your team.
Huskies are going to pound the Beavers this weekend. You watch.
I think you just wanted to say that. I don't think you mean it.
No, I really mean it. Beavers are going to get pounded this weekend.
I agree, Jamie.
I 100%
It's a big
mean
weekend.
that.
It's a big weekend for Washington. I think they'll be ready.
It better be.
Blues Q's next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Fellas, are you currently using ED meds? well, you're probably paying too much, that's for sure. And that's where we don't want you to go down that road, is paying too much for your ED meds. Get over to the Medicine Shop in St. Charles. They are your destination for cheap ED meds. They've got the generic called sildenafil for less than $2 a pill. Prescription is required, and they got a great pharmacy over there, too. If you need to get in there and maybe you're not sure, it's cold and flu season, there's allergies, there's all sorts of things that are happening in the wintertime. Get in there. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. They're going to answer all of your questions. They treat you like family over there, and they do such an amazing job. I don't go anywhere else but the Medicine Shop in St. Charles. And another reason I love using the Medicine Shop in St. Charles, because they have free discreet shipping and delivery of any medicines that I require on a regular basis to my home or my workplace. And we know life gets going fast sometimes. This is a fantastic program, and they take care of you all the time over at the Medicine Shop in St. Charles. So please get in there again and say hi, or get there online. Visit them at stcharles.pharmacy. That's stcharles.pharmacy. For over 80 years, the Londoff family has been providing the best prices and award-winning service in the St. Louis area, and they've got 2 locations now. The original location in Florissant, Missouri, and now the new Londoff Autoplex located out in St. Peters, right off of Highway 70. Please walk into either location. Tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you in there. They're going to ask you what you're looking for, whether it's a brand new vehicle or pre-owned vehicle. And then if you have a trade-in that you have for your purchase, well, don't forget that Londoff guarantees top dollar for your vehicle, no questions asked. That's the Londoff guarantee. And I can guarantee you this, you're going to get spectacular customer service. It'd be stress-free. You're going to get a great deal, and I know that you're going to get a fantastic vehicle as well. And the aftercare is already set up by your sales representatives. They're going to try and get you in there for your first oil change to make sure that you're happy with the vehicle and that you're taking care of that vehicle as well. So please, again, get there and see them in person. Check out their inventory on the car lots. But if you can't get there in person, get there online. Visit them at londoff.com or londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. Joe Vitale will join us at 5:30 to talk about tonight's game, so make sure you tune in to that. Also, last night, Monday night football, the Broncos defeated the Bills 24-22. We talked about that one earlier in the show. So if you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. This Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Don't pull over. It's time for the Fast Lane's Blues Cues.
That's right. Time for some Blues-related questions from you, the 101 ESPN listener. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line with Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Andrew Marsh with your Blues-related questions.
From the 314, how good would a player have to be on the fourth line to get moved up to the third line, to get moved up to the second line, etc.? I've always watched hockey, but have not understood exactly what makes a third-line guy or a fourth-line guy.
Yeah, so it's a lot of it is based on your offensive ceiling. You know, what is your potential offensively to bring to the team on a daily basis? And sometimes you've got guys that are just more offensively gifted. And sometimes it just comes down to whether you're able to play that fourth line or third line role. So let's go back for a second here. Because Ivan Barbashev, when he first came into the NHL, it was in the playoffs against the Minnesota Wild way back when, he ended up centering Vladimir Tarasenko's line in the playoffs. And it was a heck of a jump for him. Now, his ceiling was high as a player. He scored a lot of points in the Quebec Major Junior League, and you expected him to be able to have that success. He didn't right away. So what happened is Barbie moved down the lineup. And a perfect spot for him was the fourth line, to where he could be physical, block shots, play good defensively, while his offensive game evolved. And it did. And so Barbie got moved up so much so he scored 26 goals here for the Blues. And we saw what happened last year in the playoffs. Played first line for the Vegas Golden Knights and won a Stanley Cup. So it's all about the player's ceiling and their style of play. So if we look at this year's Blues fourth line, the player with the highest ceiling offensively is Jake Neighbors. It just is, flat out. Sammy Blais a really good player offensively, but his ceiling I don't think is as high as Jake Neighbors. So Jake Neighbors is the type of player that if he puts together 3 or 4 games where he's creating a lot of offense, you could see him, maybe you're upset with Jacob Vrana for a night, or Toropchenko's not creating the offense. You could see that Jake Neighbors would get moved there, and then so on and so on. Maybe there's an injury, and all of a sudden Jake Neighbors is playing with Braden Shen and Jordan Kyrou. And because his ceiling is so high, he's able to put some points on the board as well. So that's kind of how it works when you're determining who starts where, at least.
All right, so stay with me with this on this next one. Our YouTube chat brought to you by Air Alliance team. They've been hard at work. And Bud in the YouTube comments posed the questions to everyone, including ourselves. In y'all's opinion, will the Blues stick with this roster or make some moves to tweak it? Mossy Oak Jedi says, I think they tweak it every game. It's just subtle. Scandella has a lot to prove. I can say that on the Blues. And then Clayton chimes in saying Scandella has been playing better than he has in the past 2 seasons. What are your thoughts on that?
On Marco Scandella in general, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Anthony?
I don't think well, I'll let you talk about Scandella. I don't think the roster changes much because I don't think Doug Armstrong will have the freedom with it. You've got a lot. We've been over this. You don't have a lot. You have a lot of no trade clauses. So even if you wanted to move a player and do a quote unquote hockey trade, where you're going to trade, one contract, absorb another, and maybe take on, give up something that you already have for something you don't have, that's going to be difficult to do so with all the no trade clauses. So I don't think the roster changes. I agree with the first comment about, I think there's subtle tweaks almost every game now. But from a roster standpoint, we're not going to see much.
Yeah, I agree with that for the most part. The only time I think it could change is at the trade deadline. If Army feels like this is a playoff team and that it could be a second-round playoff team, he's going to make moves. He'll eat some salary if he has to. A lot of teams at the deadline, too, will eat salary to get rid of a player. A team that's non-contending will eat some salary to move a player. We saw it. We saw it last year. We saw it every year now. Teams are willing to take on 40, 50% of the remaining salary, and then the remaining salary is a fraction of, what you need for the salary cap. So it could be done, but I think it's only under those circumstances. And as far as Marco Scandella is concerned, he's had a really good season so far.
Yeah.
One, he's been healthy. I think it's the first time he's been healthy since he first got here with the Blues, when he came in and he played really well with Colton Parayko and signed the extension. I don't think he's really been fully healthy since that point until now. And I like the way he's playing. He's been very effective for the Blues. He gives them another layer of penalty kill. And, I've been very pleased.
From the 314, Jamie, what do you think of the proposed changes for overtime in the NHL?
Well, thanks for stealing my notes, Bill Daly. He must listen to the fast lane, because I know I've said it on here before that the over and back rule should be in the NHL, just like basketball. Once you pass center ice, you can't go back across the red line or you get a penalty. Because this whole regroup for friggin' 3 minutes while you try and tire out the other team, it's completely counterproductive to what the NHL wanted when they went to 3-on-3.
Which was action.
Offense, excitement, get you out of your seat. Now it's like snooze fest until somebody gets tired and makes a mistake.
Yeah.
I'd rather just have a goal scored because it's a lot of action, fast-paced, and things are happening out there. So what do I think of the proposed? Yeah, the only one I like, the only one that makes sense, is once you cross over center ice, the red line, you can't go back with the puck. Players can go back, it doesn't matter, but the puck itself can't come back across the red line, or it's an immediate penalty, and the other team goes on the power play.
I like it.
That would be exciting.
I like it a lot.
From the 636, why do hockey players always use ER at the end of players' names for their nickname? For example, Schenner, Tomer, etc.
Baseball players do too.
Well, it's like you got other ones too. You got Cappy, Hazy, you got other ones that are available.
Binnington-y.
Binner. That's an ER. I don't know why. We just do it.
Stalter.
Staltz. I was never the guy that shortened the name or the ER. I was always the guy that found an actual nickname for my teammates and then just applied it to said teammate until everybody called him that.
Whether they liked it or not.
Yeah.
Like
most
Lumpy.
of the time. Like what?
Lumpy.
Lumpy. Yeah. He was a hell of a player.
Like Paulie Walnuts.
Paulie Walnuts. That's right. See? Paulie Walnuts. Nobody would have thought of that.
No.
Had a few. Curtis Lasician, we called him Cowboy. He grew up on a farm, so I just called him Cowboy. And, you just go from there. You just make up crap, Anthony.
You kind of remind me of that scene in Forrest Gump when he's out in Vietnam.
Hey.
He's like, hey, kid, there's Tex. It's Denver.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Is there nicknames that you guys would know that have a meaning that you probably can't share with people?
Oh, that's no fun.
I'm trying to think. Like, most of those
not naming a name, but like, is that like a thing? Like, you come up with a nickname for somebody, and you're like, that's more of like an in-house type thing.
Yeah, and I know, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like inappropriate either. Like, most of the ones that let's say they are inappropriate, they don't really get used because you have to be careful. You're always out in public, and then things like that happen. But like a funny one that we gave Jamie McLennan was Noodles. That was his nickname, Noodles. And people are like, why the hell you call him Noodles? Because all he ate for every pregame meal was noodles. Like, no sauces, nothing. Like, what kind of
chicken,
a serial killer just eats
just noodles. Plain noodles.
If you were referencing him in like an interview at the time, you wouldn't say, Noodles, did a great job of getting the puck in. They'd be like, who are you talking about?
Well, we did start doing that. And, like, you get a lot of guys that you start using their nicknames. Like, Steve Thomas was Stumpy. and it's just because she was short with big legs. You know, and like Chris McAlpine was the mule because it had big ass on him. You'd start to call guys by their nicknames. Like when they started calling me Sugar.
Right.
Like people at first, what the hell? Who are they talking about? Then they figure it out. You know, so I don't know. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun game.
Still need a nickname for the chicken, the dirt sheet chicken.
Yeah. We'll get that sorted out.
Hey, we got Jamie's keys to the game, first goal of the game, and somebody is facing their punishment next.
Yeah, Marshy.
On 101 ESPN.
Are you looking to sell your home, or is your home currently on the market? Well, now is definitely not the time to sell your home with just Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty. And Gloria has great options available too. I love the guaranteed sales. I mean, who doesn't love guaranteed sales? That's where Gloria sits down handwriting. And the reason she's so confident about selling your home is because Gloria has a database with thousands of ready buyers, and that helps create a higher demand, more traffic, and gets you to the closing table, hopefully, and more money in your pocket. So please, if you're looking to sell your home or you're currently on the market and unsatisfied, give Gloria Lou a call. Tell her that Jamie Rivers sent you in. Her number is 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions do apply. Gloria and the seller must agree on the sales price and possession date.
Tonight, the Blues take on the Lightning. Pregame starting at 6 o'clock. Right after us here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers is heading downtown after this segment to do his coverage for Bally Sports Midwest. So, Jamie, without further ado, let's get into some keys to the game.
Yeah, all right. Key number one for me is get pucks to the net tonight. The Tampa Bay Lightning don't have Vasilevsky between the pipes, and I believe they're in the bottom tier of goals against in the NHL. They're giving up quite a few goals a game, so let's not disappoint. Lots of pucks to the net, and the Blues have been doing a much better job of that. They've had over 35 shots in, 3 of their last 4 games. So they're doing a better job of that. So certainly pucks to the net increases your chances of scoring goals, especially against this Tampa Bay Lightning team so far this year. Key number 2 is stay out of the box. It's still the Tampa Bay Lightning that have a hell of a power play. Kucherov should be back in the lineup tonight. He missed the other night due to an illness, but they've got Stamkos, Kucherov, they've got Braden Point, they've got Victor Hedman. They've got some guys.
Got some dudes.
They got some dudes over there. So do yourself a favor, and even though your penalty kill, at least on the road, has been fantastic, it hasn't been great at home. So stay out of the penalty box. Don't give them that opportunity to score a goal. D-zone coverage tonight is going to be imperative. So that's key number 3 for me. The Tampa Bay Lightning do a great job of roaming guys all over the place. And all that means is that the defensemen end up down low, the forwards end up at the blue line. It can be really easy to lose your coverage. And so I think the Blues don't chase, stay disciplined, and when things feel like they're out of control, shrink. And all that means is take away the middle of the ice. Take away the most dangerous spot on the ice. And as a player, you know when things are starting to get a little out of control. You're chasing the puck around. They're making good plays. You can't seem to get there on time. When you feel the wheels falling off, shrink. Wait for them to come to you and wait for them to make a mistake. And when they do, then you pounce. So those are the keys to the game for me tonight for the Blues.
Love it. Is Marsh going to score the first goal again?
I hope so. I hope somebody does. Because
Marsh, you're up 1-0.
It's not good.
I am up 1-0.
Go for it, kid.
Let's go, boys.
We need you to score more goals.
Get those loose pucks.
Thomas to Kyrou. Score! Goal!
No big deal. Game winner.
Nice. All right, Marsh, you got honors. Go for it.
Well, we've been talking about the 4th line a lot today. So I'm thinking either Sonny or Jake Neighbors. Those are the 2 guys I'm really feeling tonight. I'm going to go with Jake Neighbors to score the first goal.
Jake?
He's been playing really well lately, too. I like that one, Marshy. Good pick.
Jamie.
Yeah, wow. I'm going to go with Jordan Kyrou tonight. I think that, well, Braden Shen has been creating more offense recently, scoring a hat trick last game. Brandon Saad has been creating offense as well. So I think those guys are going to find a way to get the puck to Kyrou, and Kyrou finds the back of the net first tonight.
I'm going to go with Pavel Buchnevich.
The Booch.
First power play unit. He's averaging 18.8 ice time. He's got 13 shots in his last 5 games. That's right on par with everybody outside of Kyrou, who you just took, who's got 21 shots in his last 5 games. Got to shoot the puck in order to score, Jamie.
Yes.
So I'm going to go with Pavel Buchnevich.
He might get one shorthanded, too. He's been a penalty kill nightmare.
Yeah, coming off a big game against Colorado. I like it. Okay, Jamie, are you ready to take your face your punishment?
I guess so. Let's get it out of the way.
All right. So, Marsh, you want to do the honors?
I would love to.
That's savage shooting me.
I would love to.
You want your pants to be safe? Because if you want your pants to be safe, you want Marsh to take the shot.
Oh, Marshy's an aggressive ass. Jesus. Just went off.
No.
All right, here we go.
You don't have to worry about the pants because you probably get shot in the spine or the ear.
This shirt's going to have a hole in it, too.
Yeah, that's correct. Got the jacket to match? You'll be fine. So for those that don't know, Jamie is he's facing 2 shots today because he lost a tiebreaker in the NFL Pick'em Challenge. Don't fret, though. We are now up, what do we have, 7-2 over the Riz Show, guys? 7-2?
I believe so.
Seven victories. All right, Marsh, you got the cameras pointed?
I think we're good.
I think we're good, too.
I think we're good.
I see Jamie.
Perfect.
I see Jamie over there. All right, Jamie, bend over.
The button board is where you got to line up, remember?
The button board.
Yeah, just back up a little bit, okay? He's worried about his pants.
No, he doesn't have to back up further than normal, but at least go to the normal line.
I don't think a couple inches is going to make a difference.
It depends who you ask.
Jamie, 2 shots. Well said.
Count me down, Jamie.
No, just no. Oh!
He's got 2. He's got another one.
Hang on, let me recover.
I'm going to let him, yeah. That was a good one.
I think you blew the button off of this.
Oh, no.
A pretty good shot.
That was... Those
Might as well be naked.
those pants are thin.
All right, here comes the next hole.
All right, here we go. And look at him flex.
Oh,
Nope.
misfire here.
Yep. Go for it. Oh, that's a leg. All right, Jamie, you have served your punishment for the NFL Pick'em Challenge. As we said, everybody that has to take their shots, that hurt us more than it hurt you.
No, it didn't.
That was a good one. That was right at the crease of the
Nice job.
where the cheek meets the leg.
Way to go. You're a professional marksman.
You literally put eyeballs on my ass cheeks. They're perfectly placed on each side.
Nice. Jamie, by the way, is still leading the pack. 96 total points on the year. Kerry Davis is second, 94. BT, who's going to be joining us for the last 2 hours of the show when Jamie leaves. He's got 93. I've got 91. And Andrew Marsh, 87.
Terrible.
87 this year for Andrew Marsh. But you know what? He's part of our team. And our team is winning. Big.
I've
over
been
the
getting
Rizzuto show.
better. I think the first few weeks really hindered my score.
Yeah.
Hindered us as a team.
Week 9, you had 12 to lead us.
Yeah.
Me, BT, and Carrie all had 9 this week. And week 11 starting on Thursday night. So better make sure you get your picks in. 7-2.
Gator Bait on the Air Alliance YouTube chat is funny. He has Jamie in his dirt cheap uniform on yesterday and ready for church today. Well played.
You know him too well. All right, Jamie. Good stuff as always, man.
Thank you.
We'll see you. I don't know. I'll check the schedule. We're not going to see you tomorrow.
No, be the next day.
The next day.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, because you're traveling.
Yeah.
According to Anthony's calendar, it would be Friday.
Yeah.
We'll
I
take
thought
it.
it was Wednesday. I started
take
off
it.
the show today with a little Let's Get Nasty on a Wednesday. Thank you to the listeners to say, hey, moron. It's actually Tuesday. We figured it out.
Anthony, I'll be thinking about you guys when we spend 5 days in L.A. when we're at the Ritz-Carlton in Marina Del Rey, which is right on the beach.
Oh, yeah.
It's a sacrifice, I know.
I'm sure.
Okay.
Real dump that place sounds like.
I'll be thinking about you.
Thanks, Jamie. Get out of here. Get out of our faces. BT joins us next, just in time for the Gauntlet. The playoffs continue here on 101 ESPN. Jamie, here's the thing. When you're talking about inflation numbers, when you're talking about rates, we just got this message from Stewie. Our guy Stewie, Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation, he says inflation numbers lower than expected, rates are dropping. So if you bought a house in the past 90 days, now's the time to qualify for the bagel loan. And the bagel loan, the creation of our guy Stewie, means that you're not going to have lender fees, you're not going to have closing costs if you're borrowing $200,000 or more. I don't know anybody else that does this, Jamie. I've made other calls before knowing Stewie, and they're like, well, here's going to be your rate. Of course, you have lender fees and closing costs as well. Don't forget about those. Not with Stewie, not with the bagel loan. This is why you got to call him.
Yeah. He's the best in the business, and it all comes down to customer service and having Stewie care about you. And it's easy. Just pick up the phone, call him or text him. His personal cell phone number is 314-324-4440.
Again, 314-324-4440.
Call, text, day, night, doesn't matter. Anthony, anytime at all, because Stewie's there for you.
Yep.
Always is. And if you can't remember that number, what can you do?
Oh, remember we were just talking about the bagel loan? Just Google the bagel loan. Get that number right there.
NMLS number 226715.
your performance with Pure Performance, your one-stop shop for all aftermarket accessories. Look, it doesn't matter what you drive, okay? It could be a truck, could be a car, a minivan, a Jeep. No matter what it is, Pure Performance has you covered with accessories. They have amazing kits, too, for Jeeps and Broncos. I mean, they look amazing when they're finished with it. And you got to remember here, they've got all sorts of tires and wheels, not just off-road, not just oversized tires and rims. No, they got everything, even everyday tires for any vehicle that you're driving. Let's not forget that they've got running boards, they've got light kits, they've got lift kits. So many things to make your vehicle stand out when you're driving down the road. So please, stop by the 25,000 square foot facility located right there off Highway 70 in St. Peters. When you walk in, you have to say, hey, where's Shelby? Because she's the sheriff around there. And when you get to Shelby, tell that Jamie Rivers sent you in. And from there, the process is awesome. You're going to find everything that you need, and it's going to be put on to your vehicle perfectly. You're going to love it. Trust me. So again, get there in person or get there online. Visit them at pureperformance.com. That's PUR performance.com.
Warriors, 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you master the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit masstour.com.
Before we bring in Joey, who is the latest Gauntlet playoff contender, let's welcome in our guy, BT. What's up, Brad?
What is happening, Anthony? How we doing, my man?
We're doing great. Thanks for filling in for the last 2 hours.
Yeah, tag me in for sure. Hey, what's this whole playoff contender thing? Is he on like the third leg or something?
No. So this is, Brad, we are playing the Gauntlet Playoffs, which means that all 10 Gauntlet 2.0 champions are back.
Really?
Yes. So
not that I didn't know that. I just wanted you to reset it for everybody else that might have just been listening for the first time in a while. I knew that. I listen religiously, Anthony. You know that.
I've been listening.
I know you have.
So, without further ado, Joey is our latest Gauntlet champion. What's up, Joey?
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're doing great. Welcome back. Who did you beat to claim your trophy?
It was Marsh, and I was the one who had to go to a tiebreaker every day.
Oh, I remember you. Did you face Brad the first time?
No, I faced you.
Okay, all right. So I lost in a tiebreaker. I remember Brad, and you probably remember this too. BT, you and the listener said the same tiebreaker answer, I think twice. I think you did it back to back.
I remember that. Yeah, it was
and
crazy.
then the next day, I think I did it. I did the same thing with a listener. But anyways.
That was with me. We've had the same answer.
Okay, there you go. All right, I remember that, Joey. Well, anyways, congratulations. Welcome back. Joey, if you don't know the new rules, here they are. You can choose your opponent or you can choose the category. But whatever you choose, if you advance, you have to stick with that group. You know what I mean? If you choose your opponent today, you got to stick with the opponent moving forward. But you obviously got to do a new opponent. If you choose the category, you can choose your next category if you win, but it can't be the one that you choose today. Sound good?
Yep, I gotcha.
All right. So would you like to choose your opponent, which would be BT, Marsh, or me, or would you like to choose your category?
Well, I'm not going to bank on the wheel not giving me hockey again, so I am going to choose football.
Oh, okay, so you're going to go football. So the category today will be football. Marsh, then you spin the. Go ahead, tell Marsh to spin the wheel, and we'll find out who your opponent is today.
Spin the wheel, Marsh.
So Marsh, you have played 3 times, I think, right? Or twice?
I have. No,
you played 3 times. Jamie's played twice. I have not played yet. BT has not played yet. It's got to be Marsh again. The wheel is all about Marsh. All right, Joey, so the last person you beat in the gauntlet was Marsh, and the first person in the playoffs will be Marsh. Sound good?
Works for me.
All right, so as Marsh makes his way to the cone of silence, what I'm going to do for Brad is I'm going to take a photo.
Oh, thank you, Anthony. I was wondering
you got it, no problem.
Logistics of this.
Yeah, I'm going to send you the gauntlet trivia questions here, BT. Hopefully you can read it. If not, let me know. And I'm going to send it real quick to my guy, Brad Thompson, live on radio.
It's a pretty high-end operation.
Yes. Okay, so, Brad, I just sent that to you.
Okay.
I'll go over the rules again. For those that don't know, 4 football questions to Joey, same 4 football questions to Marsh. Each question is worth 2 points unless Joey or Marsh ask for the options, and then those questions are only worth 1 point. BT, did you get it?
I got it.
Okay, here we go. Joey, question 1. After the Green Bay Packers won the first 2 Super Bowls, which team was the next to win consecutive Super Bowls? Winning, and I don't know the Roman numerals on this, so which team won consecutive Super Bowls after the Packers did it in Super Bowl 1 and 2?
Oh, man. It's got to be either the Steelers or Cowboys, I'm thinking. Let's go Pittsburgh Steelers, final answer.
Pittsburgh Steelers, final answer.
All right, Joey, question number 2. Which Broncos running back was the last running back to win Super Bowl MVP? He ran for 157 yards and 3 touchdowns when the Broncos beat the Packers 31-24.
Terrell Davis, final answer.
All right. Joey, question 3. Which player recorded 200 sacks in his career, the most in NFL history? Which player recorded 200 sacks in his career, the most in NFL history?
I'm thinking the Minister of Defense there. Don't know if I want to take the options here. Reggie White, final answer.
Okay.
All right, question number 4. Rondé Barber, he played his entire career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. His brother, Tiki, played his entire career with which team?
The New York Giants, final answer.
The New York Football Giants. All right, Marsh is in, or he's coming in. Joey, how you feeling?
I know my running backs, I guess.
Okay. All right, Marsh is making his way in from the Cone of Silence. This is Marsh's 4th Gauntlet Playoff matchup. And Marsh, I believe you're 1-1, right?
No, I would be 2-1.
2-0? 2-1?
2-1, I believe.
Oh, well, I just said, this is your 4th, and then I did horrible math there. So, yeah, that makes more sense, Marsh. I'm an idiot. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Question number 1. After the Green Bay Packers won their first 2 Super Bowls, which team was the next to win consecutive Super Bowls?
Ooh. I think it might be the Steelers. That's who I'm leaning towards. Trying to run through all these teams real quick. Nah, let's go with the Steelers. Final answer.
All right, Marshy, question number 2. Which Broncos running back was the last running back to win Super Bowl MVP? He ran for 157 yards and 3 touchdowns with the Broncos beat the Packers 31-24.
Oh, my gosh. I know who it is. I can't think of his name. This is going to cost me. Was it Terrell Davis? Is that his name? I'm going to have to use the options. This is going to bug me.
All right. Is it Mike Anderson, Olandis Gary, or Terrell Davis?
Unbelievable. Terrell Davis, final answer.
Question 3, Marsh. Which player recorded 200 sacks in his career, the most in NFL history?
Let's use the options.
Michael Strahan, Bruce Smith, or Reggie White?
I know Michael Strahan, there was that one season a while back when I think he broke the single season record. I don't know if he holds the record, though. Who was the third person? Reggie White?
Michael Strahan, Bruce Smith, Reggie White.
I'll just say Michael Strahan. Final answer.
All right, Marshy, question number 4. Rondé Barber, he played his entire career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. His brother, Tiki, played his entire career with which team?
Oh, man. Rondé Barber, yeah. The New York Football Giants, final answer.
All right, let's go over these. Joey versus Marsh today in the Gauntlet Playoffs. Let's start off with that last question. Rondé Barber played his entire career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. His brother, Tiki, played his entire career with which team? Joey, you said the New York Football Giants. Marsh, you said the New York Football Giants. Correct answer is?
That'd be the New York Football Giants,
That's
Anthony.
correct. Neither of you guys needed the options for that, so you have there's a 2-2 tie. After the Green Bay Packers won the first 2 Super Bowls, which team was the next to win consecutive Super Bowls? Joey, without the options, you said the Pittsburgh Steelers. Marsh, without the options, you said the Pittsburgh Steelers. Correct answer is?
That would be the Dolphins.
The Miami Dolphins.
Super Bowl 7 and 8.
Thank you for doing the Roman numeral look up there for us, BT.
What do you mean looked it up? It's a V and 2 1s, Anthony.
that makes sense. Then it would be 7 or 8. Yep. Mm-hmm. You know what I did there? I looked at it real quick and I said, no, I'm not even going to attempt it. All right, so we still have a 2-2 tie.
I looked it up.
Thank you for your honesty. All right, which Broncos running back was the last running back to win Super Bowl MVP? He ran for 157 yards and 3 touchdowns when the Broncos beat the Packers 31-24. Joey, you said Terrell Davis. Marsh, you said Terrell Davis. Correct answer is?
Terrell Davis.
Marsh is disgusted with himself, and he should be, because Joey did not use the options. So Joey has a 4-3 lead over Marsh. It comes down to this. Which player recorded 200 sacks in his career, the most in NFL history? Joey did not use the options. He said Reggie White. Marsh used the options. He said Michael Strahan. We know from Marsh taking the options that Reggie White, in fact, was an option. If it's Reggie White, Joey wins. If it's Michael Strahan, we're going to a walk-off. If it's the other choice, which is Bruce Smith, Joey still wins today 4-3. BT, which player recorded 200 sacks in his career, the most in NFL history?
Well, Anthony, as you know, that would be Bruce Smith.
Joey,
You have chosen wisely.
Bruce Smith, 200. Reggie White, 198. So, Joey, you thinking Reggie White? I mean, you were right there. Made sense.
Yeah, I kind of stuck with the whole Packers theme there.
Yeah, that's not a bad thought.
Yeah, real quick, Anthony. I will see you on Thursday. And I feel like I need to apologize in advance for when you have to go eat all those waffles.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm a big waffle fan, but that's going to be a lot of waffles in a short period of time. So, Joe, I appreciate you. Thanks, man.
Thank you. I believe in you.
All right, thanks.
Good
Congrats.
job, Joey.
Nice
Congrats
job.
on moving
Thanks
on.
for listening.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Joey. Yeah, Joey's going to advance. So, Marsh, how many do we have advancing now?
We have 3 now.
3 now, and we are through 6?
We're through 6 people. We have 4 left. We have Patty scheduled for tomorrow,
That's
too.
right. Nice.
So
Okay.
Patty will be our next contestant.
All right, so Joey is advanced. BT, it's survive. It's survive and, wait, basically.
I like it. Look, keep them on ice a little bit, Anthony. That's the thing. Let as many in as you can, too. You guys have been doing a pretty good job of that. It's all inclusive.
Absolutely, yeah.
I feel disgusting right now.
You're so ticked at yourself about the Terrell Davis. You even said his name, too.
I did.
In your defense, Marsh, you weren't even born yet.
That doesn't mean anything.
Okay. Well,
he tried.
I tried. I tried, BT. How should Cardinal fans interpret John Mozeliak's message when it comes to the offseason? We're going to get BT's thoughts on that next on 101 ESPN. Going down to the Missouri Athletic Club has been part of my daily routine throughout the week. I love, have an opportunity to take the kids to school and then head right down 270 and hit the West Clubhouse for the Missouri Athletic Club. Get my workout in. Sometimes I'll even get something to eat. Man, they got great food at the Missouri Athletic Club. Hit the showers and all that. But when it comes to the MAC, it's not just about an exercise place or a gym. It is more than that. There's clubs within the club. You can sign up for various clubs when it comes to, they got a history club. They got a whiskey club. They've got, war clubs. It's unbelievable what they have at the Missouri Athletic Club. Of course, they've got different sporting events too. When they've got, you can do pickup basketball or racquetball. Anything you're into, the Missouri Athletic Club has you covered. It's my MAC. Wilson is with us for the final 2 hours of the show leading up to the pregame for the Blues and Lightning at 6 o'clock. BT, I don't think that we've had you on the show since John Mozeliak has made his comments about kind of the offseason plan. And if you took those comments face value, which we did, you would kind of think, well, they're not going to do anything. That wasn't his point. His point was, we'll have plenty of money to spend back up to where we were a year ago in terms of the budget, right? They're budgeting for around the same amount as they budgeted for last year. They've got some guys coming off the books, whether that's Adam Wainwright or some of the players that they traded. So there is some flexibility when it comes to the spending. When you initially saw the comments like, oh, they're not going to spend it all. Not the case. But when you heard John Mozeliak make the comments about the spending, did you go down a certain path with what the offseason is going to look like for you, or did you just take the comments at face value?
No, I think that you kind of have to take the comments at just kind of face value. You have to wait and see how everything plays out. I wouldn't expect John Mozeliak or anybody with the Cardinals to come out like the Phillies did, their owner, John Middleton, who said we're going to go out and spend stupid money. I don't see them just doing that. Now, I might, and this is just me because I don't have as good of a vocabulary as Mo has, I might have used a different word other than prudent. Now, prudent is the right word, but like to me, prudent's like, you prude. Yep. No, maybe I'd have used like wise or judicious or sage. Like, it's not just something.
Smart.
Something like prudent prudent makes it sound like you're tight and you wear a bow tie and scarves all the time. Like
right.
that's
you don't
prudent.
spend your owner's money.
Well, sensible could be sensible would be one. Well advised is another one. But that's how this organization has been run, and that's how this organization has had success over the years, is for the most part making wise decisions when it comes to their big expenditures. So the idea of being prudent when it comes to your offseason is a smart one. Anthony, the last thing that the Cardinals need to do, and we all know the list, and we can go over all the pitchers that are out there, whether it's Nola that you want, or it's Snell, or it's Sonny Gray, or it's Yamamoto, or it's Gray, or Montgomery, whoever it is, right? If these guys start flying off the market, did you see the piece? I think it came out maybe yesterday, and it was a well-done piece over at The Athletic by Tim Britton, and it just ranked every team and like what their needs are and, kind of where they're at. And there were 20 teams listed as front-end starting pitchers is their biggest need. 20.
Brad, there's only 30 teams.
Anthony, I know that's damn near 2/3 of the teams. Okay, and I don't quote me on the math because I'm not sure that that's correct. But it's a lot of teams that are looking for starting pitchers. So if some of these guys fly off the market, if Nola, Snell, Montgomery, Gray, your guy Yamamoto, who I know you've been lobbying hard for, and I believe that you've been in contact with Yoshinobu, which is great, Anthony. And I got to
do my part, Brad,
as you should. And look, you're a large voice in St. Louis. And I think that he's going to listen to you. But if those guys start flying off the table, right, and they're going to these teams, and it's not because you weren't in the market in the discussion, it's because they picked other teams, the last thing I would think, as a Cardinal fan, you want them to do is go out and spend way too much money on, like, the sixth best guy.
Right.
Like, that doesn't make sense to just overspend to get whoever that guy you believe is, right? So prudent is a good way to go about it. You are going to have to, if you want to get one of the guys that we talked about, you're probably going to have to go to a place that is uncomfortable when it comes to your finances. And I know that they said they want to be around that budget that they had last year. I believe that the numbers still pan out to do that. They've got roughly just under $50 million to do that. You might have to go a little bit further, because what are you more uncomfortable with, Anthony? Are you more uncomfortable, if you're the organization, with going over your budget but having a team that you believe will compete for the division and make a deep run in the postseason? Or are you more comfortable with having another season that looks a little bit like this one? I think that should be an easy enough one to answer.
Yeah, that would be the first option. Give me option A, please. Brad, as you know, as you're laying everything out perfectly, the thought that here's the bottom line when it comes to fan perspective fan reaction, fan emotions. If Mo does not land one of the top guys, he's going to lose the offseason. From a fan perspective.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. If he does not land Yamamoto, which it's a
He's
very
not landing Yamamoto.
I made the call, Brad. Just hold on with it.
You know what? Damn it, I wrote that note down before. I wrote that down before I remembered you made the call. That's
Have
on
a little
me.
faith.
They might land Yamamoto.
Yeah. Now, did I talk to the right person? I don't know, but I made a call. And I said, "Hey, you could pitch, right?" Said yes. So come to St. Louis. Anyways,
real quick, did he say it just like that? Did he say yes?
Yes, he did.
That's not Yamamoto, dude. That's not him.
Maybe I called Nola then. I hope I called Nola. Anyways, if he doesn't land Yamamoto, he doesn't land Nola, he doesn't land Snell. All real possibilities. I think the only pivot I'm talking about from a fan's perspective. I'm not talking about like from my perspective. Although I would fall more in line with the fans' perspective in terms of the emotion after they finish in last. The only pivot would be to land like two of those next tier guys. So a Stroman and a Sonny Gray, right? Or a Stroman and whoever your favorite third pitcher is in that second tier. If it's just one of those options in tier 2 and maybe an option in tier 3 and then a bargain, it's going to get ugly.
What if you land a couple of guys, and again, this is robbing Peter to pay Paul, but what if you do so via the trade market, Anthony? Like maybe you get one of those middle ground guys, and then you pull a trade for a Tyler Glasnow.
Oh, I'm good with that.
Pull a trade for a Dylan Cease. You know what I mean?
That would fall more in the category of Mo. He went tier 1, right? Because Dylan Cease is a tier 1.
Yeah,
Tyler
down year last
Glasnow,
year, but second in the Cy Young 2 years ago.
Still an ace, right?
Yeah.
That, to me, would fall in the same category of he signed one of those top 3 guys. Because if you're a fan, you say, what did you get for an ace, or what did you get for the top of the rotation? Like, you can squint and say, Stroman, well, Stroman's our ace. Stroman isn't on the same level as what other teams are going to bring to the table ace-wise. He's not in the same category as Spencer Strider. But I think Cardinals fans would at least say, all right, Nola signed with Atlanta or went back to Philly. Yamamoto, you got stupid money from the Dodgers, Giants, or Yankees. And then Blake Snell went someplace else. But we got Stroman, Gray, and, maybe one of those one-year flyers. I think fans would be okay with that.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think that's why. And look, we all want them to land one of those top guys, but that's why, like, this is going to get interesting, and it's probably going to take a while, and it's going to take a while for all these teams. I told you, there's 20 teams that are looking for high-end starting pitching, and there's a handful of guys that fit that bill via free agency. And if you're one of these teams that you're hanging on to right now, you have one of these pieces that you want to trade, Anthony. Mm-hmm. Whether that's Tyler Glasnow that we talked about, whether that's Dylan Cease, maybe that's Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff's out for the season. It looks like, they are open for business over there, or whoever that guy is. You're going to wait, aren't you? Aren't you going to wait until like the top free agents are off the market and desperation sets in? Like, this has got a chance to be a slow moving, as I think that each year they get slower and slower offseason when it comes to the starting pitching market.
Yeah, unfortunately, because I think baseball used to capitalize on that hot stove league, when it fired up. The only thing is, if you can move further away from football season, then you could start to steal some headlines. But for fans, we want to see we want to hear all the rumors and then dream about what the roster is going to look like for many months before spring training. But from baseball standpoint, maybe having all your action in January is not the worst thing.
No, I know. I still do wonder, though, if there is a way, and I know that we've had this conversation on the show many a times in the past, to incentivize signing guys, signing early, signing to a certain amount of deals or a certain amount of dollars where you put draft picks attached to it. Because you alluded to it, winter meetings, stuff used to go down at the winter meetings. Like, it was happening there. And now it's like, oh, the winter meetings are here. Ooh, what's going to happen? Nothing happens. And then all of a sudden you get into spring training, and then these guys are trickling in.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way to streamline that, because it seems like every other sport, Anthony, like, it is hot as soon as day one hits.
Oh, yeah, even beforehand, right? Like the illegal tampering period. And you're getting all this news coming out about free agency. I think you're right. I think booze should be offered to the player and the team.
Yes. That's the worst thing that has ever happened, okay, with these meetings, Anthony, is that we have all this technology and everybody just sits bunkered down in their suites, go down to the hotel bar, hash out some deals. Are you going to wake up with some buyer's remorse every once in a while?
It's part of it.
Sure you are, sure. Who hasn't been there at the bar late at night, and then the next day it's like, no, not again. Oh, dang it. I ordered too many drinks.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
Yeah, it's what.
And you stumbled back.
Saying.
You went to the wrong hotel room for a second. You figured it out, though. Of course.
That's how we got Arenado.
Very true, though. Yeah, he's right. I mean, the previous GM for Colorado, he was ham sauce. There's no doubt about it when he made that deal.
Yeah,
thank you, though.
Drunk. But that is deals used to get done that way. Let's do that. Get rid of technology. Hash everything out at the bar.
Yeah, I like that. That's Brad Thompson. He's got great ideas. I'm Anthony Stalter. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. And our sports six-pack is next. I imagine this will be 2 segments here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues are back in action tonight, taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. You can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. Joe Vitale will join us at 5:30 to discuss tonight's game, so stay tuned for that one. Last night, Monday Night Football, the Broncos defeated the Bills 24-22. Denver missed a field goal as time expired, but Buffalo had 12 men on the field. Will Lutz nailed the second attempt for the Broncos, and they wrap up Week 10 with a victory, which led to Ken Dorsey, the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, to be fired. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next. If you have a question, send it our way to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Sports Six-Pack coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by Maggie O'Brien's, your go-to Irish pub in St. Louis for over 42 years.
All right, time for the Sports Six-Pack. Brad Thompson filling in for Jamie Rivers, who will be on Bally Sports tonight ahead of the Blues, or during the Blues Lightning game. I'm Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh with your questions.
Question number 1.
From the 636, what's the funniest moment in sports that you can remember?
The funniest moment in sports?
Funniest sports moment.
Yeah.
Brad,
I don't know why this is coming to mind right off the bat, because I'm sure I'm missing 10,000 things.
Yeah,
I don't know either of the players that are involved in this, and I don't even know what league it was in. I think it was in Japan. Do you remember seeing the highlight, Anthony, of the guy getting hit by the pitcher? He charges the mound, and then the pitcher runs around the outfield to get away from him.
I don't.
And he's chasing him the entire time. It's like one of the funniest damn things ever. I love it.
It kind of reminds me, though, of when the minor league manager got tossed, and then he went banana sandwich on everybody, and he did the army crawl out to the pitcher's mound and used
what was that guy's? Phil Wellman. That's
there
who
you
you're
go.
talking about.
And used the rosin bag as a grenade. He acted as it was a grenade. He did a whole bunch of stuff in the sequence of like 10 minutes, but that one's pretty good.
Man, Jose Canseco having
Ball
the
off the head.
off his head for home run is hilarious.
One stuff, yeah.
Marcelo Ozuna, Spider-Man on the wall.
You know, with something that people don't talk about enough is when the Cardinals installed those LED lights at Busch Stadium. It's tough to track the ball.
Honestly, it made it a lot easier to track the ball. I think. I'm pretty sure. Like, that was kind of part of it. So you could see a lot better all the time. What we fail to talk about, Anthony, is that he is, in fact, a Gold Glover when that used to be an offensive award.
So I've been told. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have another one. Maybe you guys remember this. This is Patrick Stefan in 2007 for the Dallas Stars. Had an empty net, skated right by the empty net, and then whiffed on the puck, fell into the boards. The Edmonton Oilers then picked it up, went the opposite way, and scored with like 10 seconds or 5 seconds left in the game to tie it up.
That one's difficult to live down.
Oh,
wow.
So funny.
You know, I wasn't there, and Brad, you weren't there, but when Dunk used to tell the story of how he made 3 errors in one minor league game, when he told that story, and he told it, a fair amount because...
No, Anthony, one play, not 3 errors in one game.
Yeah, that's right. One play. You're right. You're right. He was playing first base.
Yeah.
And I think a ground ball hits, I don't know, third or short. They throw it over. He failed to catch the ball at first, I think. And then he went and he picked it up and he maybe airmailed it. I can't remember the sequence of events, but
Dude, I forget exactly what it was, too. I think that maybe he might have, clanked it first. It might have been a ground ball to him that he missed, and then he tried to, catch somebody on a throw at another base and then screw that up, and then maybe screwed up another play. But it was 3 errors.
It's almost like, how could this happen? But as he described it, you can visualize everything that he did.
And then you could just see him in his brain just, jeez. I mean, it's unreal. Like, how does that happen?
That's amazing. He used to talk all the time, too, about your streak and him not knowing that it was also an errorless streak.
Oh, yeah. He didn't know that it was just he thought it was just earned runs. He didn't know it was unearned also. And boy, Dunk got the tight sheets when he found out that I hadn't given up any runs at all.
You guys should not have told him that.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know.
It's incredible.
We got a text from the 636. What's funny is when Bobby Boucher showed up at halftime and the Mud Dogs won the Bourbon Bowl.
You remember that? You remember that? Anytime he says that, I get fired up. Because I know what's about to happen. The Mud Dogs are about to win the Bourbon Bowl.
And I liked it.
Question number 2.
Sure showed me. I like them too.
She's not the devil.
Yeah. I think a lot of us agree with that one. From the 314, riddle me this. If everybody is needing pitching, then why would anybody trade away pitching? Does not make sense. Does not compute. I don't get it.
Well, because in a market, if you are one of the handful of teams that really are not competing next year, and you know who you are, and you have all of these teams that are looking for front-end starting pitching, and you have some, chances are you end up getting a king's ransom for it. I mean, you get teams in a bidding war for a player, and they go to places that are uncomfortable. And that's the scary part if you're one of those teams. If you're the Cardinals, and you're going out on the trade market, and you're looking at guys like Glasnow or Dylan Cease, or just pick whoever it is that you like in a deal. I doubt that Corbin Burns, a deal like that's going to happen within the division, although I could still see them moving him even with Woodruff being out for the year. Like, the risk you run is what you give up to get that player. Because I think that we all still realize that this Cardinal team from a year ago, you need more than one ace. Like, that one guy doesn't do it for you totally. You got to add a couple of pieces, and you still have to maintain what you have offensively. It is not an easy task.
Yeah, I do understand where the text is coming from, though. I have made the comment on these airwaves about the Mariners. Like, the Mariners, they're such a perfect trade partner. They got all this young pitching. Yeah, you keep it.
No, but they don't have a middle of the order bats. Like, that's the thing. Like, they're a perfect.
Shut your mouth. Eugenio Suarez is a perfect middle of the order bat.
Eugenio, the mighty duck man himself.
The mighty duck man himself. There he was.
And he tipped his cap just like this. But they got guys. They got Brian Wu. They've got Bryce Miller. They got Emerson Hancock. Like, those are guys. You're probably not going to get Kirby. You're probably not going to get Logan Gilbert. But if they found a deal where they could get somebody that they believe profiled as a middle of the order bat, I think they'd be happy to give up not most of those guys, not all of them in the same deal, but one or two guys, because they have some depth.
Right.
Question number 3.
From the 314, why don't you guys ever bring up Trevor Bauer's name? We do. He immediately fixes all of your problems from the pitching standpoint.
I'm gonna address the first part of that statement, and I'm gonna be nice. I realize that not everybody listens 24/7. I wish that was the case. I wish you heard every moment of every show. We certainly love the people that tune in 2 to 6 or catch us on the podcast, which is available at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 ESPN mobile app, brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Having said that, since you are unlikely to hear all the time, you probably don't know that Jamie Rivers has brought up Trevor Bauer a fair amount and has made that same statement about, hey, you get Trevor Bauer, 1-year deal on the cheap because he's trying to rehab his image and rehab his value in Major League Baseball. Why not bring him in? So we have talked about it. It does make some sense. Maybe the Cardinals are that team that rolls the dice because of the spot that they're in. We'll find.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Maybe, Anthony. Maybe. It doesn't feel like they're the organization that does that, but it is interesting. Look, not to delve too far into the Trevor Bauer thing, because honestly, I don't know every single detail of it.
Yeah.
I know this. I know that he missed time, but boy, he didn't go to jail.
No.
And actually, he countersued, and I think that he did well. So, look, he is an option, probably. I just wonder which team ends up going that direction. But it is an interesting thought for sure.
Yes, absolutely. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Let's carry over the final 3 questions of our Sports Six-Pack. Next. We went out to Auto Centers Nissan of Herculaneum and purchased a vehicle that we absolutely love in our household. We got a Pathfinder that was a used vehicle. We found what we thought was a gem, found it online first, and then we went down to Auto Centers Nissan. So we found it online at autocentersnissan.com, then went out to their dealership in Herculaneum. Jerry took care of us down at Auto Centers Nissan, but all the salespeople are fantastic there. They give you a 30-day return promise. Within 30 days, if you decide to bring the vehicle back, no problem. You can bring it back and they refund and get you something that more suits you. You also have the free complimentary lifetime warranty when it comes to your new Nissan. But more than that, and more than the pricing, is the customer service, the feel that you are getting a great deal, knowing that you're getting a great deal, and that you're going to be taken care of from a service standpoint. Within a week, we accidentally ran over, they got construction going all over the place, ran over a nail. I had to bring back the Pathfinder literally a week later to get it serviced at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. They did a fantastic job, got me in and out quickly. Still had enough time to get a hot dog and a soda there. Their service station sets you up there. It is great at Auto Centers Nissan. They're going to take care of you from sale to service. So when you head down there, you check them out online. Get your next new ride, whether it's a used vehicle or a brand new Nissan. They have over 700 vehicles right there, one spot in Herculaneum. You're going to love it. Don't forget to tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum.
time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by Mackie O'Brien's, your go-to Irish pub in St. Louis for over 42 years.
All right, time for the final three questions of the Sports Six-Pack. Brad Thompson filling in for Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Here is Andrew Marsh.
Question number 4.
All right, gentlemen, from the 636, the PLL, also known as the Premier Lacrosse League.
Naturally,
is considering a team for St. Louis. The Rhythm. Do you think a lacrosse team could thrive in St. Louis? I personally know nothing, but would still go.
I know nothing.
What does thrive mean?
Supported.
Okay, well, like, what is the level of support? Because the answer is no. But I don't think it thrives anywhere.
I don't know. Here's the thing. The Battlehawks, I would consider them thriving.
Yeah, because it's a real sport.
Hey, now.
God dang it. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that.
Lacrosse.
Of course they do, and it's a great activity.
I don't know one person that does, but they
hard.
do.
It's very hard.
There's a lot of good lacrosse players here in St.
Darn
Louis.
right there
Actually,
are, Marsh.
lacrosse has picked up quite a bit over the years. That's just me not having knowledge of the sport. Never grew up playing it. Wasn't rich. But
fair.
I do think that St. Louis supports kind of anything that is here.
Exactly.
But I don't know what that means. Like at some point, you're going to stretch out your dollars. I doubt lacrosse is going to cost that much money. But if it's here, people will come.
If it is a St. Louis-born anything, it has a chance.
People will come, Ray.
People will come, Ray. People will come.
Who's in the PLL currently? Do we know this?
Oh, yeah. There's the one team with that star.
Okay.
We have the Archers, the Atlas, the Cannons, the Chaos.
Oh, the Chaos.
The Chrome. The Redwoods, the Water Dogs, and the Whip Snakes.
Oh, the Whip Snakes. I forgot the Whip Snakes were still around. When did this league start?
When did the league start, or when did the Whip Snakes? The Whip Snakes came about when the pocket snake went away.
Okay, 2018. All right, well, it's about that time. And their season is probably going on soon.
Yeah,
or it's in the middle of it.
Or it's getting ready.
Right.
Or it's got a little bit of an off season. One of those.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Today we're going to do, Anthony, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into this.
Okay.
I'm back on the show Friday, full show. And I promise to have a more informed opinion of the PLL. I'm going to dig into some of these other teams. By the way, I'm a big fan of whatever the team has a dog, the Philly Water Dogs. I like their logo.
I like the Chaos.
Let me see what the Chaos look like. What is their thing?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a scorpion, Anthony.
Yeah, I'm in.
The Carolina Chaos.
Yep.
Okay. No, I could get behind this. And by the way, I realize I haven't even checked the text line. I got a feeling there's some angry lacrosse people there. It is a very difficult sport. And when it is on TV, Anthony, I find myself actually watching it.
Of course you do.
So,
how many bottles?
It's like soccer.
How many bottles in?
Well, it just depends if I can bet on it, Anthony.
Okay.
Well, Brad, if your PLL knowledge is anything like your PBA knowledge, I think the listeners are in for a real treat.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're right. But
you broke that down.
One of them is a passion. You know what I mean? That's where the PBA stuff comes in. It's not like, to me, the PBA stuff is, and that's obviously the Professional Bowlers Association for the uninitiated. To me, sometimes you have things that you follow, maybe not everybody's into. Like I've been watching the Bowling Across America. It's been very good. By the way, they've got a Fox schedule. You can catch that on some main broadcasts. 8 Fox broadcasts with the PBA. But look, we could spend a whole hour on the PBA as well. But they have expanded, and they have just got a great playoff structure. Everything about it. Tom Clark is their commissioner. He's done a fine job, Anthony.
Oh, yeah, certainly, Brad. You have taught me a lot about the Professional Bowling League.
Yeah.
Association.
Don't forget.
Association.
Hey, The PBA Illinois Classic and the Missouri Classics are coming up next year. February 10th is the Illinois Classic. As everybody knows, that's in Mount Prospect. And then in Springfield, that's where the Missouri Classic is. That's February 18th. It's never too early to start digging in on some of your favorite bowlers.
Yeah, I have it down on my phone. I have a notification ready to go.
Yeah, obviously.
So you and I are going to go together.
I'm in.
We got a text from the 636. Love the interview with Chris Pronger the other night when he said his high school coach made him play lacrosse, and he said, I don't know what to do. And his coach said, all you need to do is spear people in the throat.
Oh, that's good advice. Seemed okay.
Oh, if that's the kind of advice we're giving out, boys, guess what we like? Lacrosse.
Absolutely. I think our guy Chris Long played lacrosse at Virginia, didn't he?
Did he really?
I think he did. I think he did.
Oh, look, my opinion is quickly changing. A lot like my opinion was on Dick Allen out of Chapin, South Carolina. Anthony, you know I wasn't a big Dick fan, but now that guy, dude, he's tearing it up in the PBA.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Look, I can be
He keeps that ball straight.
No,
unless he's curving it.
He's always curving it, Anthony. There's no such thing as a straight ball when it comes to Dick. But I will say that his game has evolved over the last couple of years, right? So, look, has he lost all of his hair due to the fact that he's stressed out? Yeah. Does he have a creepy mustache? Of course. Does he have several cats at home? Chances are, yes. But his game has gotten better, and I think it's a culmination of all those things.
Well
Don't
said.
get me started on Jesper Svensson, because Sweden is coming in hard when it comes to the PBA.
No doubt. Brad, great breakdown as always. By the way, our guy Dan McLaughlin, he's listening. Danny Mac, appreciate you. He's going to be on 4 to 6 tomorrow here in the Fast Lane. It was the Pronger interview that he did. That he said he never had played. Coach just said slash him. So Danny Mac had that one-on-one with Chris Pronger. Dan's got all the great interviews, man. Him and Jay Delsing, they've got all the best interviews.
Oh, believe it.
Yeah. They're fantastic.
Do an awesome job.
So, Dan, we'll talk to you tomorrow, my man. All right. We've got what's trending next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
What's trending in the world of sports? The Fast Lane has you covered. What's trending now?
Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate to Goodwill to win a magical Polar Express staycation.
5:04, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Brad Thompson with us for the next hour. Andrew Marsh has got what's trending in the Fast Lane.
All right, gentlemen, today I saw on the old Twitter sphere that Tyler Glasnow could be moved very soon.
To the Cardinals?
Well, maybe. Brad brought him up earlier when we were talking some Cardinals baseball. I wanted to get your guys' feel on this. If the Cardinals were to end up moving or end up trading for Tyler Glasnow or just any pitcher in general when it comes to acquiring a starter in the offseason, are they more inclined to move pieces off their big league roster, or would it be a prospect that is in Memphis right now? You look at Victor Scott, just won the Gold Glove.
Yep.
Would he be in the mix?
So before we get into that aspect, because I'm interested, Brad, in your thoughts and what Marsh just asked us. But if I could open up a little bit when it comes to irrational thinking, right?
Okay.
Now, Brad, I think that it's irrational that when you have had a bad your resume is not great when it comes to drafting quarterbacks, right?
Okay.
You're the Cleveland Browns.
Or the Bears.
You keep drafting the wrong QB. I never understood the thought of, well, don't draft another QB. No, you don't have a quarterback. You have to keep you have to keep swinging for the fences here. At some point, you think that you're going to get this one right. It's irrational to think that way.
Correct.
But when Marsh brings up the Tyler Glasnow situation, part of me is thinking, don't trade again with the Rays. It's not going to end well. Like, it's irrational, right? But I feel as though that they might just pick your pocket again, and I don't know if I could stand for that.
Yeah, the problem is if the Rays are one of those teams where if you're in a conversation with them and they bring up a guy that you didn't even have on the radar that they want from your organization, you probably just say no.
Yeah, and then you start them.
Say, not that guy, but you can have our best player. How about that? That seems safer at this point. No, the interesting part with Glasnow, we know this, the Rays, we'll just call them a fiscally prudent. We'll use that word again, Anthony. They're prudent club.
We said
when
we're
it comes
not
to their
going to
finances.
use that.
No, I know. We can use some of the other prudent synonyms like judicious or sagacious or shrewd or advisable if you want. They're all of those things. But they are a team that has not tend to spend that much money. He's making $25 million next year, Anthony. That's the highest single season salary that they've ever had. So you do wonder if they want to do that. Now, the problem is they've got some other guys that are injured over there within their rotation, and they still plan on competing, so they're going to need to get some arms back and probably big league ready arms back if they're going to move Tyler Glasnow. But he's a free agent after the year, too, so it would just be 1 year of him. So I don't know if the Cardinals are necessarily a fit for him, but obviously he makes, to me, he makes any team better that he goes to.
Yeah, no doubt. Again, though, you find out who the Rays want, and then you promote that player if he's in the minors. Then you start him every game next year.
You think so?
It's
you
just
think that's
a thought.
The play?
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Just listen.
Look, it's worked out quite well for them in the past.
No doubt. Now, do you guys think overall that it's best practice for the Cardinals right now, regardless of any trade, to deal off the, like, for example, BC, we got this question the other day. I think Marsh threw it out.
Okay.
If you were to trade from the big league roster, you would free up a spot. Theoretically, you would free up a spot, regardless, whoever it may be, you'd free up a spot on the big league roster to make a deal. Would that be advantageous, or is it just smarter to spend the money, keep the offense completely intact, including your bench right now, and say, that part's sold, we're good there, and spend the money and go that route? in free agency.
Well, look, if it were cut and dry, I would just say the latter. I would just say, yeah, let's just go spend money in free agency. You don't have to touch your club, and then you can have all the pieces that you want. But we all know that it's not that simple. It's not that easy to be able to piece together something like that. So that's the hard part, right? So, like, the first part of the question is, would you rather deal off of your major league roster or deal from a prospect standpoint?
Mm-hmm.
It just depends what the other team wants to get the player that you need to bring in. If they're looking for cost-controlled young players that are big league ready or have not hit arbitration yet, well, you're dealing from a young asset set.
Sure.
They're looking for a potential superstar. That's a different pool that you're going in. So there's no one way to answer. You obviously want to keep as many talented players within your organization as you possibly can, but you also realize that all of these guys that you have at the big league level and at the minor league level, and there's plenty of depth at different positions. Now, we don't know how great this depth is going to be, but your middle infield's crowded, your outfield is pretty crowded. You deal from areas where you end up having depth.
Sure.
It's about dealing the right piece and bringing in the right piece. Because generally, even if you deal away something, let's call it Dylan Carlson, right? We'll just throw his name out. I know he's been bandied about different trade rumors. If you deal Dylan Carlson away and then he goes somewhere else, he gets healthy and he ends up having some success, do you care that he has success if the piece that you brought in because you dealt Carlson helps you win?
No, not at all.
I don't think so either.
No,
That's just
that's
a
win-win.
good baseball trade.
Right. That's honestly what you're hoping for out of all deals. That's why you make the deal. Like, okay, we're going to give up something that, I guess, let me rephrase.
No, you want to fleece everybody.
You want to fleece everybody, yes. I was thinking of it from our standpoint. You look at it and say, it worked out for both teams. So, no, if you're the Cardinals, you're like, yeah, no, we gave you crap, and we brought in gold. So, Brad, I caught myself mid-thought there. So
happens.
Yeah.
I feel like,
hamster got back on the wheel.
If you're a GM, you don't want to fleece everybody, right? Because then wouldn't other teams be less inclined to trade with you?
It's kind of like the Red Sox and Mo for a while. After a while, I think whoever was the GM for Boston at the time would say no anytime Mo called, because he was fleecing the Red Sox there for a while. John Lackey, that deal. Alan Craig.
That worked out pretty well.
Yeah,
Craig was kind of damaged goods. He
was damaged goods. Good player while he was here, but once he got hurt, once the foot injury occurred, he was just never the same player. Joe Kelly was still good, but that was kind of a fleecing. And then did he wind up trading? What was the other deal? Was it Mujica, or did Mujica sign there for as a free agent? I thought he dealt Mujica.
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
I know there was another deal with Boston where you're like, well, the Red Sox aren't going to be picking up their phone when Mo calls. Go ahead, Marsh. What else you got?
Last thing here. Jamison Williams from St. Louis, plays for the Lions, Jamie's Detroit Lions.
Yes.
Apparently likes to combine his Oreo McFlurry with his cheeseburger. Thoughts on that?
So, dipping the burger?
No, he puts the McFlurry, opens the bun, puts the McFlurry inside.
No. I understand the salt-sweet combo, but I wouldn't be going that route. It's a no for me, Brad.
No, both of those items by themselves are very good. Mm-hmm. And they always say, don't knock it till you try it. Okay, they say that. Yeah. I'm knocking it. I'm knocking it big time.
Real hard.
Because it just doesn't, those are not two things that combine. That's not like Thanksgiving dinner, Anthony, where everything on your plate. I may put everything on my plate, and then all of it is going in one bite
like
and going in my mouth. Of course.
Yes,
of course.
That's how I...
But they're all similar types of food. They're all dinner food.
Sure.
They're all just going down at the same time. You're throwing a dessert into a meal.
No.
It's not for me.
There's two kinds of people in the world. Those that separate their Thanksgiving meal into almost compartments and eat, one at a time.
One thing at a time, yeah.
Yeah. Like a psychopath. And then there's guys like Brad and I who mix everything. You don't have to literally mix it all together, but you make sure that you got the fork and it goes into the mashed potatoes. You get some corn in there. Then the turkey is the last thing to go on. Now you just get some stuffing that sticks to the mash. And
that's an easy stab at the bottom.
Exactly. And then the turkey is stabbed, and then it all holds together, right? And you eat it like a savage.
And then you get the dressing, and you put the gravy on top of everything.
Gravy over everything.
Everything. I don't care if the gravy's over the sweet potatoes. I don't care. It's going down the same hole.
You're darn right it is. Yeah.
But I'm actually impressed that he, in this case, actually was able to get a Oreo McFlurry, because every time I go to McDonald's, Those things are not available.
Oh yeah, the ice cream machines. The ice cream machines at most Mickey D's are usually broken. I think the staffers there are basically saying, I don't want to put up with this anymore, so we'll just say it's broken. That's just my theory on it. But kids screaming for some ice cream because it's gonna be hot fudge. Nope. Broken.
Anthony, is the McFlurry harder to make, at Mickey D's than like a soft serve cone? Like, is that because I know there's like steps involved? Like, there's that machine that shakes it up.
Spoon.
If the McFlurry's not working, if that machine's not working, is the soft serve not working too?
Typically, I have found that the hot fudge machine is rarely working.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know you're a big fudge guy.
Well, Brad, when it's hot.
No, I get it.
And over some ice cream.
Yep.
Who's
not?
In there. That's right. Well said, Brad. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. If we're still on the air, we'll talk about how much the Cardinals can really improve with Plan B, whatever Plan B is.
What is Plan B?
Their version of Plan B. Next on 101 ESPN. Marsh, you pitched this idea in the office earlier. I'm going to actually let you set it up because I want you to set up only because but I want you to say it the way you did it in the office because you were kind of disgusted when you mentioned the second option. If the Cardinals don't go out and impress by signing or trading for, top end pitching that they need. ... Say it the way you did it to me, because you did have a little disgust in your voice.
Okay, I can't remember what I said verbatim, but basically my thought process was, okay, let's say they don't go out and get an ace, the ace that we expect them to, or at least that the fans do, and that they want them to get. Let's say they don't go that route. They get a few guys that are middle of the road and whatnot. Like, how much different or how much better would the Cards be compared to this past season if they get the ace compared to if they just get, middling of the road guys? Like, how much more can they improve?
Right.
Can they be a division winner? Can they win the pennant? Like, what does that look like?
So Brad,
AKA Plan B.
Yeah. So Brad, he kind of said it. You said it similar, but it was more like
a little bit more snark to it.
Yes, like
Anthony. How did he say it earlier?
If the Cardinals don't get one of the top end guys, either through free agency or the trade, I mean, how much more can they improve with like the Plan B? Like how much really can they improve? It was more rhetorical.
Okay, no, I understand that. Well, let's start with this one.
Like these pieces of crap can't really be any better.
I didn't say that.
No, I added that.
You said PSC?
No, I added it for flavor.
Oh, well, not a good flavor. I would think, let me ask it this way, okay? Last year, if you had a bona fide ace, if you had a guy, are you...
going to the mall later?
500? Are you a 500 ball club?
Yes.
No, you're not.
Yes.
Not just one guy. The one guy doesn't do that for you, does he? The one guy doesn't anchor the entire staff and just make come on, guys, jump on my back.
No,
you're
right.
good now.
Because the defense wasn't good either.
Yeah, and just you didn't have enough quality depth.
True, but
I still think that you need, as we've talked about,
you weren't a good team last year. You weren't a good team. Brad,
you were injured. We'll give you some of that, but you also placed a lot of bets that didn't cash. We talked about that plenty when it comes to guys in the rotation having bounce back years or being healthy, and then guys in the outfield really solidifying things. Didn't happen.
No, Brad. I'll also throw this out as well. We talk about the offense, and I do like the offense. Don't get me wrong. I do. I like what they have in place. If they roll out that same offense next year and Mason Wynn is your starter full-time at short and you can stay healthy and all that stuff, Jordan Walker takes the next step. I like this offense a lot. But they don't get a free pass for what happened last year. You scored 719 runs. That only beat Pittsburgh inside the division.
Who at a time, Anthony, was a juggernaut.
Brad.
So soon we forget.
Brad. Okay.
So soon we forget. Remember early on, everybody's like, look at these guys.
Yeah, they were good for a month. They did the Pirates thing. Your defense wasn't good enough. Your pitching wasn't good enough. So you're right. To your overall point, Brad, you're right. One guy wasn't going to change the misfortunes of that team. They were destined for badness.
Well, yeah, I mean, if all those bets that they cash worked and Tyler O'Neill looked like him in 2021 and Dylan Carlson made that big step forward and, all these things, your Flaherty was great for you. And if all those things worked out, you're a different ball club. They didn't. Now, very rarely, just like you never hit on all your bets, Anthony, you know this. You never just sit down at the blackjack table and you just boom, I can't lose. That doesn't happen very often. Very rarely do you sit down and you can never win at all, even a hand, and that's what it felt like the Cardinals had last year. It's like, hot damn, they must be, somebody get a horseshoe and stick it somewhere.
Right.
Because they are not, they just have zero luck at this point. I wanted to ask you this question, Anthony.
Sure.
You said you like their offense, and I do too. I like the pieces that they have in place. We all know that they're anchored by their corners and they're anchored by Contreras offensively. So you have three known quantities within that lineup. Here's my question is, how much do you like this lineup if it doesn't have Newt, Donovan, or Gorman in it because those are three pieces. If you're looking to make a large trade to add a starting pitcher, you're not going to have at least one of those three guys, I would think.
I think you can. I'm okay if you lose one of those guys, preferably not Gorman.
Okay.
Because you don't have young, cost control, lefty power bats within your organization. That is the more difficult thing to find than the super utility guy, which I think can really you have produced an abundance of those guys. Right, the Cardinals have had a knack for that. So preferably not Gorman. But I think you could survive if you give up one of those guys for the greater purpose, which, of course, is to bring in pitching, which you don't have. It's a fair question. 1, you're okay with. 2, you're uneasy about. 3, well, now you're robbing Peter to pay Paul in some respects.
Again, it's so easy for us to talk about adding players. Go trade for this guy, go get that guy, and don't give up anything. It's easy to make the media guys fan trade.
Give up the players I don't like to get one of the guys I do.
Anthony, what's it going to cost? Anthony, what's it going to cost for the player that you want?
Tyler O'Neill.
Oh, I thought you were just going to say prospects, because generally that's all it costs.
Prospects. Yeah.
Yes.
That's all it costs is prospects. Sorry, I was going down
it costs more.
Never mind. I was going a different route. Yeah, prospects.
Nolan Arenado. It is one of those things, Anthony, where this is where, and there's a couple things that go into it. First of all, just building a ball club is very difficult, and that's why drafting and developing and having so much homegrown talent is incredibly important, and that's something that the Cardinals have had over the years. But then there's also the concept of once bitten, twice shy, where you make a deal and it doesn't pan out your way, and then you get a little bit, potentially concerned about making another deal. That's a question, too. Let's say even if it's a deal for, we'll just throw out a name. We talked about some of the starters from the Mariners a little bit earlier, and we mentioned some of the young guys, right? Brian Wu, Bryce Miller, Emerson Hancock. But let's jump a little higher. Let's say the Cardinals were able to make a deal and they brought in Logan Gilbert. Logan Gilbert would obviously help this ball club in a pretty big way, but does that help your ball club enough to be able to look at and say, okay, well, we don't have Nolan Gorman anymore because that's probably going to be the cost of doing business. Right. How do you weigh those two things as an organization, or is it simply just a wash? And I'm sure that there's an equation, because there's an equation for everything in baseball, Anthony, to see if something ends up panning out. I just don't think it's so easy for us to do. I wouldn't want to be in charge of making these decisions.
No, you're right. It's tough. And then everything, everybody
I'll take the
just
paycheck.
Well, yeah, sure.
For sure.
The scrutiny, though, which comes with the paycheck.
I'll take it with the paycheck, actually.
Me too. But that's a good call. All right, we've got
everybody hates you. Well, I'm going to go cry in my mansion now.
I'm going to be swimming Scrooge McDuck style.
Don't swim, Anthony. You know what happens.
Well, I'll pay for the damage done to the
a bigger
face.
Pool too,
exactly.
probably.
No doubt. Yeah, won't even have walls. I don't think pools exist that way. Joey Vitale is going to join us. It's called the ocean. Joey Vitale is going to join us next. We'll talk a little Blues Lightning here on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues back in action tonight, taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. You can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. You'll hear Joe Vitale on the broadcast tonight. You will also hear him next right here in the Fast Lane. We'll dive into this Blues-Lightning matchup right here coming your way next. This Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Joey Vitale views things a little differently. Just imagine how he looks at hockey. Whoa! This is The View from Vitale, brought to you by Scott Lee Heating Company, a proud Mitsubishi Electric Elite contractor.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. BT in for Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to our 101 ESPN Celebrity Line. Talk to the man that you're going to hear pregame, during, and postgame for the Blues Radio Network, 101 ESPN, Joey Vitale. What's up, Joe?
Stolf, what's up, boys? And doing really good. I'm at the arena now, as you can hear in the background, so I'm going to talk as loud as I can. Hopefully it comes through okay for you.
No, you sound great, Joe. Let's talk about the power play. So they snapped out of that 1-for-37 power play funk. They scored twice in with the man advantage against the Avalanche on Saturday. What did you see differently about the power play against the Avs that maybe you didn't see beforehand?
You know, I think two things really stood out of that team. Of course, we saw versus the Colorado Avalanche on the power play, and those two things were the way they attacked down low. Number one, at the goal line, and number two was the way they used it behind the net. I think at the beginning of the year, you know, as they were trying to get adjusted, a little bit new personnel with Kevin Hayes and different guys in the mix, Verana's on the power play. You know, a lot up top, a lot of half wall, a lot of shots from the point. And I looked at that game the other day, and you look at Robert Thomas, the way he attacked at the goal line to find Buchnevich on the back door. Look at the way Jordan Kyrou used behind the net. Goes behind the net, stops, attracts a lot of eyes to him, goes back against the fray, finds Thomas to set up, of course, Braden Chen for a power play goal there as well. So the one big adjustment I think they've done is they've used down low very well in two specific areas, attacking at the goal line and of course, you know, using behind the net. And they're going to need that tonight. You know, of course, they've had some success as of late on the road, but still 0-for-18 in their home building, of course, this year on the power play. They've had overall success at home ice, but still looking for that first power play goal, so maybe it'll come tonight against this Lightning group.
Yeah, Joey, as Anthony mentioned, that 1-for-37 skid that was snapped, and thank goodness. What is that like when you are one of the players, when you're on the power play, you know the struggles, you're answering questions about it after every game, after every practice. How does that weigh on you when you're out there? Does that make you change your game at all when you're actually playing and going through it?
Oh, listen, absolutely, BT. I mean, I've experienced it on a kill. I was never really a power play person, but from a kill standpoint, especially my years in Arizona, we would just go out there almost like not a matter of if we're going to get scored, it's a matter of when we're going to get scored on. I mean, it's a bad feeling. I think for this Blues team, you know, they felt it as like, are we ever going to score a goal? And I think it really could eat away at you mentally. It's almost like when you and your wife are fighting. You know, and you know you're battling, and then you come home from work and you walk in the house. You just know the energy is like, oh boy, here we go again. Like try not to cross paths with her, and then every now and then you get the awkward moment where you're both coming down the hallway at the same time, and you kind of like give each other the backs and just kind of keep on moving. It's kind of like that. You kind of step on the ice, and you're like, oh boy, here we go again, right? So emotionally, mentally, it can wear on you if you're not getting the success that you're hoping for. And now with the Blues team. Of course, scoring those two goals in Colorado against a very good kill group in Colorado, which is a tough place to win, guys. You know, I think that hopefully is going to be the confidence boost this team needs. You know, I mean, look at the way Torrey Krug, you know, three-point game streak right now for him. Braden Chen hat-trick, Buchnevich hat-trick. So they're starting to get some of their high-powered offensive guys going here a little bit. Did start with the power play, and hopefully that'll kind of convert to tonight's game because they're going to need it.
Joe Vitale will be on the call tonight for the Blues and the Lightning. The pregame starting in about 20 minutes or so right here on 101 ESPN. Joe, Pavel Buchnevich scored a hat trick in Colorado after scoring just one goal in his first 10 games. What does Pavel Buchnevich bring to this lineup that the Blues are lacking when he's not in it?
He brings a lot of intangible things on the ice. We know he's a good 200-foot player, maybe the best 200-foot player we have. I think he takes more pride defensively than offensively, and I think that's in turn what produces for him offensively is the fact that he takes such good care of the D zone. The way he battles, the way he's tenacious on pucks. He's a go-getter, and I think on the bench you see it, and it's an infectious thing to see number 89 kind of burning up and down the ice. I think that's the first thing on the ice. I think, it's not talked about a lot, Stoltz, but I think it's important to note, Pavel Buchnevich's personality, I think it's really good for a team over an 82-game season. And what I mean by that is he can be a bit goofy. I think he's a player that doesn't take his life too seriously. I don't think he takes his business too seriously. When he steps on the ice, listen, he's a competitive little guy, don't get me wrong. But off the ice, he has a really good disposition about him where, he lowers the temperature of the room. I think with him and Kevin Hayes, it's so important to have these types of guys because these seasons are very long, and they go through these valleys, and you go through these losing streaks, and you need to have personalities like that really do lower the temperature of the room and keep things light. So certainly we have it on the ice, and absolutely without question, Pavel Buchnevich does bring that kind of demeanor off the ice as well, which is really important.
Joe, you broke down the adjustments on the power play really well, like easy even for a guy like me to understand. What about the adjustments overall in this offense? 22 goals now in the last 5 games, obviously 8 of those against Colorado on the road, which is incredibly impressive, as you mentioned. Schematically, is there something different, or is it just the fact that it just took a while to get things rolling for these guys?
I think it took a little while, BT. I think the biggest thing, though, where we're seeing, this Blues team over the last 5 games and averaging 4.6 goals a game. Talking to Braden Shen, the captain, this morning, they're a multi-dimensional attacking group now. They're not just going to score off the rush. This is something they knew coming into this season they needed to do a much better job of. Last year, they prided themselves on attacking and scoring off the rush. But, to do that and only that, you become a one-dimensional group. And once that kind of gets suffocated and taken away from your game, there's not a lot of other ways to score. So the one area they've gotten better at is, getting chances and scoring off of offensive zone time. What do I mean by that? You chip it in, you have a relentless forecheck, you get it back, you 2-on-1 the defender, and all of a sudden you get the puck back, you go low to high, and we're in business. We're playing in the offensive zone. And now the other team is defending and trying to keep us to the outside. You do that over and over and over, you're going to wear the other team down. You're going to draw penalties. You're going to find yourself on the power play, and you just become a more multi-dimensional group where you can not only score off the rush, but you're going to score off offensive zone time there as well. I think they knew that coming into this season, that they had to become more of a team like that. It just took a little bit of time because you went from a transition of last year being a team that would score off the rush, but now this has become more of a heavy team, taking a lot of pride, of course, in the offensive zone, which has led to a lot of goals.
Joe, before we let you go, one thing that you're looking forward to ahead of tonight's game?
The biggest thing I would say, the Blues have got to stay disciplined. And if they continue to trend in the right way, that would be a good thing because right now there's the least penalized team in the National Hockey League, which is huge. Craig Brewery talks about it all the time. Keep your feet moving, keep your sticks down. If you do those 2 things, for any young hockey player out there, if you do those 2 things, those 2 things only, you're going to find yourself in a good spot. Keep your feet moving and keep your sticks down. This Blues team has done a very good job of those 2 things. They're the least penalized team in the league. And you look at the way this Tampa Bay Lightning team can go with their skill of Stamkos and Kucherov. They're exceptional in the power play. I mean, Steven Stamkos next to Alex Ovechkin, maybe one of the best one-time right-handed shots in the National Hockey League. Kucherov, of course, a very deceptive passer and shooter as well. So you want to figure out a way to keep this high-end skill off the ice as much as possible and keep it to 5-on-5 all night long.
Joe, great stuff, man. Looking forward to more breakdown from you and the guys in about 15 minutes or so. Again, looking forward to it, so we'll listen in then. Thanks, Joe.
Sounds good, boys. You guys have a great week.
You too. Joe Vitale alongside Chris Kerber tonight for the Blues and the Lightning right here on 101 ESPN.
Anthony?
Yes, sir.
Real quick. Joey always does such a great job of breaking things down in a way that you can understand. And I love how he brings in, like, real-world scenarios.
Yeah.
And today was the first one, Anthony, where I just didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Right.
It's like an argument or a fight with your wife. Just never felt that. I don't get what he's talking about.
Well, I think some do, and that's the point, Brad. But
okay.
Yeah, we're fortunate that we do not.
Golly, lucky us, right?
Yeah, no kidding. Yep.
Golly, lucky them, really.
We're blessed, that's for sure. What you missed?
I'm in trouble now.
Criticisms, compliments next on 101 ESPN. miss anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or your 101 ESPN mobile app. All brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Jamie Rivers with us the first 2 hours of the show before he left, and BT took over. So second half of the show, spent a lot of time talking about your Cardinals. First half, we mixed in some Blues and some NFL, and overall just had a great time today. So appreciate everybody listening. Marsh, what do you got for criticisms and compliments?
Yeah, we got one from TPS. Says, great show, you blankers.
Yes.
Love ya.
Yeah. You know how to get things read around here.
Yeah. I just think they meant it when they called us blankers. I think that's great.
Yes.
It's like a term of endearment.
No doubt. Yeah.
It really is.
So thank you.
That's what I tell my kids.
Yep.
Means I love you.
Especially when they're crying.
Yeah.
Hey, could you call me that? You're like,
because they can't start a dog training facility at our house. That was today, as I was telling Anthony during a break. My daughter is 7 years old, and as sweet as can be. It's like a really cool idea. She got a book training dogs, about training dogs, because we have a newer dog. Mm-hmm. But her and her friend decided that that's what they're going to do. Like, they're going to start a whole dog training facility at our house. And when my wife broke the news that she can't do that, it didn't go so well.
Well, Brad, why couldn't she do that, though?
A few things. Overall knowledge is one. I mentioned she's 7.
She got the book.
Probably legally. I mean, there's a good chance. I don't know how many people are going to be like, boy, their rates are good. I guess we'll drop it off to 2 7-year-olds. Right. I don't know. I just don't. I just think that the business plan needs a little bit more help. But if anybody could do it, it's my daughter, because, boy, she's a go-getter. Yeah. I like the idea. I like it. And I love the fact that she's coming up with ideas. I think that's fantastic.
No kidding. Just try a different idea.
We'll just workshop it a little bit, you know, or maybe hey, let's not just read the book and think we've got it figured out, doctor.
Right.
Let's wait a little bit.
Yeah.
She's think probably driving home from piano right now. She's hearing this and she's crying again. I think you're doing great, babe. It's a great idea.
I think you guys crushed her dreams. I think that's the major thing.
I want her to keep her. She wants to be a veterinarian. I think it's a great idea.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know how you start, right? She's going to tell the story.
Dog training at 7?
That's correct. When she tells the story 20 years from now, she's going to say, you know what my parents did? They didn't crush my dreams by telling me I couldn't at 7 years old, with a partner, no less, operate a dog training facility out of my parents' home.
She's going to be like Cesar Millan in a couple of years.
Exactly.
It's gonna be we're the ones that held her back.
Exactly.
She's on TV making millions. We get none of it.
I told you I could have done that when I was 7.
All she's doing is just going up to dogs, going,
we got a compliment for Anthony on the YouTube page, brought to you by Airlines Team, from Eric. Says Stalter looks like Bruce Wayne today.
Oh, thank you. I did go with the all-black look.
That's good, Anthony.
And then said BT always looks like Robin.
Oh, no. That's not.
Kind of a superhero.
Yeah, kind of.
Little, just,
neither of them really superheroes.
No.
Batman and Robin, not superheroes. Just.
What would you call them?
Really?
A wealthy
Caped
guy.
Yeah,
Crusaders?
yeah, really brave men who fight crime in Gotham City.
So, are you saying that you have to have actual superpowers to be a superhero?
By definition,
so.
Yeah, you have to have superpowers. Absolutely.
Technically, he's just a wealthy dude with a bad past that decided to put on a suit and fight crime.
He really.
Yeah, but the stuff that he does is pretty super.
Well, it is. He's
no superpowers. It's kind of like Iron Man. Iron Man's not a superhero. He's just a guy in a suit.
That's incorrect.
What superpowers does Iron Man have?
Well, I don't know. Lasers for eyes. He can fly. I don't know if you know that. Superhuman strength is a pretty important one.
I like Superman. Superman has that. He has that within.
He also literally has a kryptonite that is kryptonite. Like, I'd rather just be the guy in the suit.
Yeah. Just saying, Brad.
Who actually had, that thing killed him, didn't it? Spoiler alert. That thing that he had in his chest.
Turns out it's not healthy for you.
The death of Superman.
Turns out you can't have that right there in the chest.
Is this bad?
You're lighting up like a Christmas tree. Not good.
Have you seen? You don't watch Family Guy, Anthony? I don't think as much as I
haven't seen it in a long time.
There was one where Rudolph, like they do these little flashbacks or whatever. And it's Rudolph in the doctor's office, and the doctor goes, "You have a tumor." They're talking about his nose.
I've
He's
seen
like,
that.
like a special Christmas tumor.
No, like
you're gonna die.
I have seen that.
Gee,
it's awful.
And then Eric also said that while you guys look like Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, and BT looks like Robin, I am Alfred.
We're not even close.
I don't know. I just feel like the age difference is a little different.
that is hard because Alfred's the older guy, right?
Alfred's
He's
the butler.
So I just watched yesterday. I think it's the newest Batman. It was the guy. What's his name?
Rob Pattinson.
I don't know, I watched it. Yes, I watched that one on my flight yesterday. I thought it was all right. It was okay. I don't think I would have cast him, but the movie itself was okay.
I don't. There's a new Batman.
There's a new Batman with Robert Pattinson as Batman.
I don't know who Robert Pattinson is.
He's in Twilight.
Nope.
He's the vampire guy.
He's
Twilight.
the vampire.
Nope.
He would be like the last guy you think they'd cast as Batman.
Okay.
You would recognize him if you saw him.
All right.
So
I think the last Batman I saw was the one with Bane.
Yeah, that would be Christian Bale's
Dark
Batman.
Knight. Yeah.
Dark Knight Rises with Bane.
Ooh.
I was born in the dark. You were merely adopted by it. What an awesome
Nailed
character.
it, Anthony.
What an awesome character.
Congratulations to Skip Schumacher.
Yes.
Former Cardinal bench coach.
Yeah, NL Manager of the Year.
Yes.
Nice
sure people
job,
on
Skip.
the text line are just congratulating him.
I'm sure that's all they're saying.
Congratulating him.
Is just
As they should be.
Congratulations, Skip. Really good dude. Really good dude.
He's the best. Incredible honor. What a job he did with that ball club. That
No
was,
kidding.
Super impressive. Congrats to him.
Yeah, because he had a lot of moving parts. He had some good pitching, but it was young pitching. He had some decent hitters, but they were young hitters.
Well, he also, you think about it like next level, too. He also probably had a front office that was a little dysfunctional if Kim Ng just decides to walk away
That's a great point.
after this year. So, yeah, what a job.
Yeah, no doubt.
By the way, Anthony, have you seen Harry Potter? Any of the Harry Potter movies?
No.
All right. I'm going to leave it at that then.
Is he Harry Potter? I've seen I haven't seen
not
the
Harry
movies.
Potter.
Okay, because that I would not think Harry Potter would make a good Batman, like that actor. But
no.
Didn't that actor, though, I forget his name, but didn't he get buffed up for some role or something?
Daniel Radcliffe is his name.
Okay, David Radcliffe.
Daniel.
Oh, that's what I said.
Yeah, David's his brother.
Yeah,
he's been in other movies.
God, this is how much I do sports, Anthony. I tried to figure out what Daniel Radcliffe was in, but I typed in Daniel Radcliffe stats. That's not it. That's not right.
For Brett Thompson and Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter. You got Blues pregame starting right now. See ya.